Hello everybody, good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Sunday, I hope your weekend's going swimmingly. Welcome back to day 3 of my life on the Isle of Dorn on various assaults, where we have not yet got a Crackling Shard, but today could technically be the day. Welcome, welcome. I hope everyone's doing all right. Bear Bakery, thank you very much for the 71-month resub. Good morning, Hazel and Chad. Good morning, Bear Bakery. Speaking of bears, we found paw prints in our yard this morning. I didn't see anybody, but there were big paw prints and there were little paw prints, and it was pretty exciting. It's kind of cool. Makes me want to get like a trail cam or something, see what's going on overnight. Hi, Miss Kira. Hi, Miss Kira. How you doing? She has been waiting ravenously for me to get stream going here. Hello, Hazel, Kira, and chat. She's been swarming around, being like, "Excuse you, ma'am. Boot up the stream this instant. I'm cold." You should get one. Hello, have missed some streams. Hello. Welcome back. Also, and thank you very much for the 47-month resub. Thanks for the chill vibes and cheerfulness. Anytime, I got you. Thanks for being here. Love the hairstyle today. Cute headband. Yeah, we're sticking stuff into the old bird nest. It might come out. I don't know if I did it right, but that's fine. Instead of a Kira cam, we could have a bear cam. It's kind of driving me nuts that there are baby bears in the area and I haven't seen them. They sound cute. I'm not trying to mess with them or anything, but I just want to look. You know, if they're gonna be in my yard, I can see them from my window. What is it I'm doing? I'm doing a variety of things, but we're doing this campaign quest because I've learned that I should follow the campaign because they're gonna make me do a delve, so I shouldn't do the delve first, otherwise I'm gonna have to run the delve twice. Although that would be maybe a way to get the Crackling Shards that we need to drop, but now they want me to go do the delve. If baby bear not friend, why friendship, right? A Gamer Link, thank you very much for the 6-month resub. Happy half a year. Hope things are going well with ya. Let's see, we're doing Earth Crawl. We're doing the Quest Earth Crawl mines. We're hoping here. We're hoping for Crackling Shards. It's been 2 days with none of them, but we're at least getting lots of sure, why not? Lots of experience for the alts, and we're getting lots of resonance crystals on them for getting like the batch of weeklies done. That part's good. Hello, happy Sunday. Hi, Haley. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. Let's make sure we've picked up this quest here. You're leveling alts to possibly get Crackling Shards for that mount. It's precisely what I'm doing. Alts, delves, questing, whatever it is that we can do. And I have so many alts that I am rotating through them based on when they lose rested. So and we have like 20-ish alts that are 70-ish, so I don't think we're in danger of running out of alts with rested. And to make it extra fun and interesting, yesterday I decided that if I somehow get 10 Crackling Shards, like get the 8 of them, you know, get 10 Crackling Shards, before such a time as I have leveled all of these alts, any alts that did not get moved off of 70 are getting deleted. They must not have been that important to me if I didn't start leveling them by then. So, and if we start leveling all of them, then I might move that goalpost to finishing leveling some. But we'll see. Yeah, the Alunira mount. It looks like Alunira. This is what the mount looks like. It is kind of similar to the Yolani grind in Miss Pandaria, except that this one you can't share the mount with anybody that didn't grind the shards. You have to grind the shards yourself. They have a very low drop rate on any mobs and content in the Isle of Dorn. Isle of Dorn dungeons. Thank you. Isle of Dorn delves. Isle of Dorn, you know, mobs. There is a popular farm, bee and wolf farming. It's kind of mobs. What is it? Is it this side or is it this side? I forget. On the sort of along the beach beside the meadery, and you will often find groups farming there because it's a good skinning farm. It's a good way to get cinder pollen for the meter bee mount. It's there are some Nerubians that can also give progress on the there's Nerubians that can give progress on the Seasbarg mount if you're still working on that. And there's often groups up doing it. So that's probably the most efficient way of farming for this mount, for Alunira. But I did that a little bit for the bee mount, and I was bored of it pretty fast. So I'm doing this instead. Great character purge of 2025. I was a little worried it might turn into like a bloodbath when I first proposed this scheme, but given that we've been streaming for 3 days and I am at 0 shards from out-leveling out here so far, I'm not that concerned that we're not gonna. I don't even know if any of them are gonna get deleted. I'm not super worried about it. I think they might be safe. We might finish leveling all of my alts to 80 before I get all of my shards. We'll have to see. I guess if we do that, we could always make brand new ones, or we could do other things in Isle of Dorn. The Survivor Hazel Staff. Yeah. Plus, it's going to get me really good at leveling alts out here, and it's a good excuse to get those 20-ish alts up to 80, so that I can get them up to 90 or whatever garbage we're doing next expansion in terms of another level cap. You know, they'll be caught up. I figured leveling alts without something like time walking or, you know, like leveling event experience buffs would be crazy slow. But it turns out when you're looking at for other things, it's not so bad. It seems like one sort of stockpile of rested gets me to about from 70 to about level 74. So not a bad start. And I've got lots of alts I can do that on. How are Moose and Kira? They're good. Moose did a funny thing this morning. We were out in the yard. He was sniffing the bear prints. And we were running around. And we you know, played for a while. And I really like playing with him in the yard in the morning because he runs so fast. And he was kind of tearing it up because the ground's a bit damp right now. So there's just giant tracks where my dog has ripped up my lawn. But, you know, what are you going to do? And, I guess I could put down like a chip trail. Kidding, I'm getting distracted. Oh yeah, we were out there for a while, and he did all his business, and we played for a while, and then he just kind of like walked away and walked up to the door of the house and waited there being like, I'm done now, let's go inside, which is not a decision he's ever made in his life before. He's always been of the opinion that more outside is better. It's usually a little bit of a problem getting him inside after we're inside, and he likes us, so we were both kind of looking at him like, huh? Excuse? Okay, alright buddy, I'll let you in. That's a little weird. You'd think maybe he was like scared of something, but he didn't seem agitated or anything. He was just like, you know what, I've had enough outside, I'm ready to go in now. He was just hanging out by the door waiting for us to open it. Oh, hello Hazel and chat, hope all are having a great day. Hello! Dog likes only going outside when we go with him. Moose has much more fun. He will go outside and he'll hang out and find sticks to chew if it's just him, but because sometimes I can keep an eye on him from the door, so sometimes I've let him out for a little bit and just been working on something inside. But he doesn't like play. Like if you want him to run and exercise and kind of get tired, you need to be out there with him, and then he'll just tear around. Happy with his new house? I think so. Have not progressed in my rewatch? Oh, that's okay. You got time. I would only go so far on hikes until he decided that was quite enough adventure and we really ought to head towards home where Mommy was. Aww. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen Moose tap out of a hike. I've seen him get really tired because I have had the poor judgment to, when he was younger, take him on hikes that were too long for all of us. I just kind of like misjudged the distance. And we were all pretty beat by the latter half of it, and we were slowing down. But he still wanted to go. He was just like falling asleep. And then we got home, and then he slept for like a whole day. He sounds content. I think he's lonely. He's very, very, very interested in anybody that comes by. Or like if a dog walks down the street, like on the other side of our hedge, he can't see them because it's like a big hedge, but he'll just like be following them, listening to them, being like, do you think they want to meet Moose? Because he doesn't have nearly as much interaction with people and dogs as he did in the city. It's just there's not as many people out here. There's not as many dogs, and the dogs that there are, 9 times out of 10, aren't super game to meet strange dogs. So I think he's a little lonely. But we're playing with him lots, and he's got a big yard to run around in. There's lots of interesting things to sniff, and he has kind of an endless supply of sticks. He keeps pulling them out of a compost pile that's out there. Balls or rawhide bones? All of the above, although I don't give him rawhides because he eats them too fast, and I'm a little worried about his tummy. Trail distances are horribly misleading. I once went on a 3-mile hike that turned into 10. Sounds social, yeah. So maybe one day he'll have we'll get him a sibling. a dog sibling, and then they can just drive each other crazy, and then he'll be content. Or maybe not. I don't know. That's a one-day thing, though. I had a dog want to stop a hike, but it was a loop, and we were like 5 minutes from the car, and the dog refused to keep going. She wanted to turn around and go back. Oh, see you later, Kitty. Oh, man, that's funny. Listen, pup, you gotta come with me. Any dog parts in the general area? Canmore before Banff has one that is outrageously large and gorgeous. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into it. We haven't ventured out that far. We've just been kind of walking in our neighborhood. It's really easy to just kind of like play with him in the yard now. I didn't think that was going to be the case because we used to be like walk the dog every day, 3 times a day kind of people. But now that we have a yard and he can kind of run and play back there, it's like way too easy to be like, well, we don't really have time right now. And just kind of like let it go and just play with him instead. Something that could be worth exploring one day for everyone. Yeah, I think it would be good for all of us. Some water over here, huh? Dog parks are tricky though because he's good in them, but he is so much that he tends to kind of get on the nerves of the calm dogs. And he did once get into kind of a scuffle over a stick. He gets kind of resource guardy about sticks, so he was actually grounded from dog parks before we left. We had decided to stop taking him because we didn't really trust him to. He doesn't have good enough recall, and we didn't trust him to not find a stick and decide that it was worth waging war over. He's totally cool if there's no sticks involved, but he's like insane about sticks. So we were just walking him instead. Is there a way to curb that behavior? I'm sure there is, but one way is just to not do dog parks. There's plenty of vets that don't recommend doing dog parks at all, even if your dog has perfect recall and is super social, because they're just apparently more dangerous than not doing them. Dogs get hurt there all the time. Even if your dog is perfect, there might be another dog there that's not, and you can get into trouble. So it's always a little bit of a risk, but it was something that we decided we were less comfortable with after we realized that we were having a real tough time getting our dog back. He just likes playing too much. Have you read The Handmaid's Tale? Or anyone else in chat? I haven't. It was on my list, but then there was like this news article or something. I was reading about Margaret Atwood, because she's Canadian, so, you know, one of our national treasures, but apparently she wasn't very nice. So I don't remember what the story was, but there was something about her being awful. I didn't read super far into it, but it kind of put me off of picking it up. TV show, very good. I have heard good things. I think it would probably freak me out. I think based on what I know about the TV show and the story that it would just give me nightmares. I know. Sometimes I just avoid stuff like that. Quit taking my dog to dog parks. A lot of people where I live have stopped vaccinating their pets. Local animal control had to put out public announcements because diseases are so rampant now. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, he meets dogs very well on leash if they're friendly, and that way there's no worry about him waging war over a stick. And so whenever we are on leash, we need another dog on leash that does want to say hi, then we always ask and see if we can get him that, because he does like that a lot. I want to jump ahead to there. I guess you know what, any extra mobs that we kill is not a waste of time, because they could drop Crackling Shards. I'm sure you're perfectly smart. Some books are just confusing. Making me want to finish leveling my Warlock. I had to give a little bit of experience to Boy. We had to start leveling Boy. I never made myself a Hellstone. What if I need a Hellstone? Create Hellstone. There we go. Forgot about Boy. Elder Boy. Okay, here it sounds. Oh, that sounds like fun. I don't know if it's a good idea, but it sounds like fun. Alright. I have no earthly clue how to play this. I'm very close to just giving up and one button rotationing it. But, you know, things seem to die, so that's fine. Catch up with your stream after lunch. Sending good luck, Crackling Shards 5. Thank you, thank you. Today could be the day. Never. Whoa, I've got to dodge Brand's right. Whoa. Oh. Almost made it. Nearly. But yeah, that's right. I switched to a kick pet so that I would have an interrupt because my tank pet wasn't tanking for a while anyway. I think I finally put my pet back on assist, so it's doing something. For Destro, Diabolist? It has to be Diabolist. It can't be Diabolist. Diabolical Diablo. Turning into nap and Netflix day. Second time in a row, waking up at 7:40 p.m. Nap and Netflix. Sounds cozy. TV show feels too close to a possible reality. Couldn't start watching it again. It's kind of like how Black Mirror is tougher now because it's when Black Mirror first came out in 2016 or whenever it was that they started making it. It was like spooky and kind of plausible, but also like, you know, it was obviously like science fiction. So it was just kind of like a cool, creepy watch. But you know, you fast forward 10 years and you're like, oh no, this is too real. this is just a documentary. Alright, so we're leaving the delve and we're gonna talk to Bran. Any crackling shards? Also, I should make sure that I have I'm pretty sure I do, but I should make sure that I have rarity turned on so that if I do get a crackling shard, it yells at me with like an achievement style pop-up. Let's do that. Trying to craft transmogs on an inscription ult and forgotten how slow cooldowns and resource gathering is for fresh garrisons. Yeah, they are super time gated. I haven't garrison professions actually. They loved a daily cooldown back then in WoD. They were all about it. Oh, good luck with your collecting. Bran, hello? Excuse? What will you do now? Alright. Did I get any while I wasn't paying attention? No. No crackling shards. Yeah, it's alright.
In this season, the unbounded Dorn.
Honestly, this is like the best way I've ever had to trick myself into doing like a trio of weeklies. Like the World Soul, Titan Shards, and then the 3 Delves. It's the best strat I've ever had in my life for tricking myself into doing that on like a bunch of different alts within a given week. Which is awesome. It's an awesome way to get resonance crystals. Gold as well. It's decent gold, but it's really, really cool for resonance crystals. And I need so many of them. And it's kind of vaguely been on my radar that where did I just made a hellstone. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Why is it not making me one? Why does it say 0? Why does it say 3 charges, but when I mouse over it, it says 0 charges? Oh, that's why. That's why. I answered my own question. We're okay. That was confusing. I forgot. You get like a funky one. I must be specced into it when I wasn't before. I still want to fight them, so we're going to have a Voidwalker help us this time. Because it's a rare. Maybe it'll drop me a, maybe it'll get lucky and it'll drop me a Crackling Shard. Gonna guess it was the red one. I couldn't figure out why it wasn't on my bar because I saw it and it was just very confusing. You know what else I could do is I could do a soul stone, couldn't I? Just a self soul stone. My gear might still suck too much for this though. That's a possibility. Here, we're gonna fight this wolf first. Get it out of the way. Boy's gear is really quite bad, so anything that's going to give him gear upgrades, leveling gear upgrades, is going to help us out a lot. Kind of satisfying. Could use a good documentary or docu-series to watch. Any recommendations? Are you looking for... It depends... What is your sort of favorite subject type, though? Because I find that documentaries and docu-series vary dramatically. Like, there's nature ones, there's true crime... There's like deep dives into the history of like a given like institution or person. Like there's it's a really wide range. I don't know if I'll have any recommendations regardless of your answer, but somebody else might. Have you thought about changing cash into resonance crystals? I have. I do every time that I remember. I have done it multiple times, and you do nicely get Kej from your weekly, so it's a good idea to go do it again whenever you remember, whenever you're like looking for some for shopping. But it's definitely something that we've heard of. It gets brought up every single time. Warlock feels fun. Their pets feel tankier than hunter pets lately. Is that pack leader's cowl any good for me? Yes, it is. All right, put that on. I don't think I'm gonna bother trying to keep my transmog up to date as I'm leveling. I think it's just gonna be too annoying. That's something I'm looking forward to for, was it midnight or next patch? I forget. I think it's midnight where the transmog gets saved to the slot instead. Super nice. Another all? Yeah, I've got 20 of them that are sub 80 but post 69. And I'm rotating through them to consume their rested while questing on Isle of Dorn for a chance at, well, for lots of chances at Crackling Shards for the Alanir amount is what we're up to. So you're going to see me on like a bunch of different characters over a few different days, because every time I get a character run out of rested, I can hop on another character, bring them back up to the Isle of Dorn, continue questing within rested. This way I also get weeklies done on a bunch of different characters to help stock me back up on gold and resonance crystals. It's kind of fun. You had Peace from Dragonflight. I mean, he's only level 71. We just started leveling him. All his gear is from Dragonflight. He's got Zerolite Caverns tier pants on. Like, he needs upgrades. Exactly, yeah, Lightning Bird over the mountain. That's what we want. I've heard that some people find their Crackling Shards while, whatchamacallem, leveling alts in Isle of Dorn, or like doing delves, which we're also doing. And I was like, I want some of that action for me. I love history and sports, people and cultures. I did finish getting the meter B mount. That one happened in like a day. We did that one in pretty much one session. Getting the Siasbarg mount, took a little longer. That was like maybe a week's worth of grinding. I wonder, did I even do, I mean, I hope I did. It's occurring to me that I don't remember if I did my Koresh weeklies. I think I must have done them earlier in the week, because it's already Sunday, so it's like the end of my week. Tend to rest hop my tune. Who I play depends on who has the rested XP full. It's one of those strats that I always talk about doing, but I never usually do it, because my natural inclination, ooh, nice, tends to lead me to want to, like, finish leveling a character once I start it. Like, if I start leveling a character and get to 74, what I want to do is get it the rest of the way to 80, even if it runs out of rested. I like sticking with a character until it's done, because I don't like the feeling of a lot of loose threads. But this time around it's different. I'm sticking with the rested hopping. I have enough characters that I can probably never run out. I'm curious to see if I'm even able to run out of rested with my best attempts. What pet do you have out? That's a Voidwalker. Let me see. It's probably a combat pet. What was summoned here? Oh, this one. That is a Golden Snorf. I have an add-on right now called Pet Walker that is summoning a different random pet every 10 minutes or so. Golden Snarf was Mechagon, I'm pretty sure. Got most of my shards from doing those two farms. Got the chitin right by the bees, too. Yeah, I got one shard while getting my Cinder Bee pollen over the course of, like, a couple of hours of farming. And it was fine. It worked, but it kind of talked me out of doing any more of it, because it's not my favorite thing to do. I'd much rather do this. I guess that's the other suspense, is whether or not over the course of the next couple of weeks I cave and pivot to bee-wolf farming instead of this plan. Because I'm at some point going to run out of time before Remix. October 7th is Remix launch, and I'm going to want to play and stream that, but if I'm not finished by then I'm going to have some thinking to do. Well, those are the Fungarian chunks. 24-hour stream? Yeah. Could do. Well, could I? I mean, yeah, kind of technically. Oh, I'm so happy that my internet works so smoothly here. I had like a couple of stream drops on the first day, and then they completely cleared up and I never had a problem again. And I like, you know, knock on wood, I hope I never have a problem again, but like, I don't know what happened. I guess I don't need to know, as long as it's cool now, but like, it's been cool for a few weeks, and I'm so happy about that. Maybe I fiddled with my settings and fixed it or something, I don't know. Normally would like this lull period before Remix, but I just want to start Remix now. You could, but you would not enjoy it. There's do and then there's do well, and some people can only hit one. Were you on Wi-Fi? I was, but I had I had more stream drops after hooking up to wired. Like, I remember being really frustrated because I was on Wi-Fi and then it was fine for a while and then it dipped. And I was like, whatever, I'm running a cable, and I run the cable, plug myself in, and then it still dips, and I'm like, what the hell? Excuse me. That was my only plan. But then it was fine the following day and ever since, so. Yeah, maybe it just needed to warm up. Maybe it just needed time to think about what it had done. Really hope my guild gets AOTC before Remix comes out. Especially knowing player housing is coming eventually. Yeah. Oh, man. That was actually one of the reasons why I started the Crackling Shard Farm, was I was kind of looking at the calendar and I was thinking, if I don't do this now, I'm going to lose my window because this grind is going to take me a while. Once player housing comes out, I'm lost to the earth for all other uses. So I need to do it now. Now is the window. Now is the time. No time like the present. Need to pug AOTC, but if your group's only one AOTC people, which is besides the point at the moment. Player housing, no more productivity. Or giga productivity in the sphere of player housing. You know, we're going to get all kinds of furnishing. World boss in South Island providing warbound gear for alts when I get them. Gonna transfer some more alts to Aussie. Found it's only a disadvantage to not have all my tunes in the same server. 3 out of 6 world quests. Oh yeah, there's a certain Hungarians. This one just wants me to done this before. Oh yeah, the research notes. And I was lost before because I couldn't find them, but I've done this before, so now I know where they all are. This is the power. This is the possibility. Look at me go. I always ran past that first note, and then I always just ran up and down the tower for like half an hour being like, where is it? I don't know. This house, I don't think it has an official release date. I kind of sort of heard something on Wowhead, but I forgot about like estimations or something, or I don't know, data mining? Or I don't know. I don't know where the info came from. Maybe you guys know. Turbo Boost gonna make Raid Mythic Plus achievement goals way easier. I finished the main story, The War Within, last night. The Aethys Guild quest had me. Oh. Can imagine this will become a hang-up for people who are really into housing. We'll be trading builds and design ideas. I think that might be. I think that could happen. It's been 1,061 mob kills that are tracked since the last drop of a Crackling Shard that I had. At first I thought, oh man, I only have 2. I've barely started this, but now I'm like, oh, at least I have 2. If it's gonna be this hard to get each one, then 2's not nothing. That is a non-zero amount of progress here. They want me to do this. What is Turbo Boost for retail? Excellent question. It is sort of a catch-all term for a couple of different things that they're doing to retail late in the season to kind of give you a little extra boost, a little extra player power to help you finish your season goals before it ends. So the first thing that they're doing that comes out with the patch 11 to 5 on October 7th-ish is adding 2 extra upgrade tracks to Hero Track and Myth Track items. So instead of upgrading to 6, you'll be able to upgrade them to 8, which is going to be basically extra item level for all of your gear, if assuming that you were Hero or Myth Track geared. And then later on down the line, I forget when, if they gave a date or if they just said later, they're going to be adding puzzling cartel chips again, which are those coins that you can earn 3 of on a given character, or you can get 3 pieces of gear on a given character that you can choose off of a vendor. So if you've been having a hard time finding like a BIS trinket or item, rushy boots come to mind. They put all those things on a vendor and let each character earn the right to buy 3 of them over time so that you can kind of finish filling out your BIS list and kind of get that extra boost of power. And then what else do? They do the cartel chips, they do the upgrade tracks. There's something else. There might be a few other things. Chat, help me out. If there isn't a channel for that in Discord, you may want to look into getting one. I think we might be able to make arrangements. Uncapped crests. Yes, yes. Why do I feel like a high school teacher right now? Except that they actually know the answer, and I genuinely don't. That's right. That's right. They're uncapped crests. I think they also make Valor Stones tradable. Yeah, I'm assuming we're going to be able to buy the boots. Generally, any piece of gear that has like a special effect on it gets added to the cartel chip vendor or the dinar vendor, so I'm expecting that to be the case. It's going to be important for me because I am wearing LFR Reshi boots, and I see very little chance of me getting anything differently, especially because we're not even raiding right now, and I'm too lazy to pug the raid. Now, this part is the one that gets me, is that I know there's a door in here. Is it this one? It's this one. They haven't said anything about uncapped crests yet, but everything else they confirmed. Okay. I bet you they do it. I bet you they do it. I don't see a good reason why they wouldn't. They might have just forgotten to put it in the announcement, but you never know. Are many of your alts gnomes? A good chunk of them, yeah. I've been kind of leveling the gnome alts lately. This is the third gnome in a row that I've been leveling as an alt. I do have plenty of alts that are not gnomes, but I definitely seem to be picking them first. Okay, this is a herbalism quest or something. Pottery acquired. Oh, just right here. Okay. What do they want me to do? They want me to deliver it. Okay. Be sad if they didn't. I guess that would be an easy solution to them to have people stop crying about having to grind crest to max out all their gear in 29 characters. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta leave people to their own problems, though. If they feel the need to max out 29 characters, and they're worried about the time it's going to take to do that, there may be like a thought missing in that chain that you just gotta let percolate in there until it blooms. My gnome alts are going to become my PvP mains, I think, for the future. How many alts do you have? 30-ish? Somewhere in the range of 30. Because I have 11 at 8. I have 11 characters at 80, which would make 10 alts. And then I have another 20 or so that are in the 70-ish range. Can't believe I don't have a proper gnome character. I should. My Herald of the Titans character was a gnome. Oh, gnomes are so much fun. I love making them. I love mogging them. I love playing them. I actually genuinely really like the escape artist racial. I find it to be very useful, especially in raid. There's always one mechanic in a raid tier where I feel like a special girl. Like I get to like avoid a mechanic or get out of it super fast. I remember on Tindril Staghelm in, what was it, a Mirdrasil? I was able to get out of like the group routes really early and then move out of the way so that I could focus on healing people without worrying about where my feet were, or like I didn't even have to stack with everybody. I was able to just like stay out of the stack because I could break my own route for every other cast of that mechanic with Escape Artist. And yeah, sure, like druids can do it just by being cats because they're, you know, meow meow whatever. But I was a gnome priest and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stand out here, use my Escape Artist, and spam heals. And it was great. It was super fun. It's gathering speed for pre-Dragonflight professions. Concerned that Lee Mix is going to result in me having 30 plus 80s that I feel compelled to care about. I mean, you could always, you know, ruthlessly slay them at the end of Remix. Or you could even, like, not even make extra alts. If you don't feel like you need any more of them, you can just play one character in Remix, get everything you want, and then, you know, have done. You mix the names of 2 different bosses. Oh no. Jail. Straight to jail. Farmers. At a certain point, though, I feel like, at least for me, extra characters to do mount runs on are useless because I only have, when I am farming a mount, a given amount of, like, patience and or time within a weekly reset to do it. Especially if it's a longer mount run. But even if it's a shorter one, like, I never really managed to use more than about a dozen characters to do mount runs on. Because even if I have more, I very rarely have the time to run more than 12-ish characters through a given instance in a week when I am farming. Especially if it's a longer farm. Some of them take like an hour. I'm sure there are some exceptions, especially for like super fast mount runs that I've done in the past. But I'm at a point in my collecting that I can't really tell myself they're for mount runs anymore because I don't need any more lockouts. I have more than I can use as it is. Wonder if they'll allow mounted gathering in old expansions or let us talented as a general skill rather than have it be profession and expansion specific. I would love if they would just stick it on a mount equipment and have done with it. I think we could all forgive them for that by now. Well, somebody won't, but I will. Had to farm Ashes of Lar so many times you had to listen through the talking. But my perspective might be different because there's a lot of mounts that I have already because I'm I don't know, getting older. I've been here a while, so, you know, holiday bosses you might want a lot of characters for, but I think I have all of the holiday mounts, you know? I don't need to do Love Rocket runs. I have one. Maybe they'll add another one, but, you know, cross that bridge when we get to there. And besides, lately, for holiday bosses and holiday boss drop mounts, the new ones that they add tend to have like that boosted drop rate for your first like run per account. So I don't feel the need to run them on like 50 characters anymore because they don't seem built for that anyways. It's having like a tiny chance of getting it on subsequent kills does not talk me into doing like an extra 100 alts. I know it does for some people, but I can't do it. There we go. That one's done. Ready to get out of here. Nice casual flex. Holiday Mouse decided to only do once a day, not worth the burnout, only missing a few. The once a day seems to be like, it's great. I think it's great because I do it once per day. I don't miss a day. I get like a quite strong chance of getting them out, and if I don't get it, I just chalk it up to fate and wait till next year. I do not like. I would much rather do that than run it on 100 characters a day, still not get it, which is incredibly likely. If you weren't going to get it on your first chance of the day, you're not adding that much extra chance by doing it on a ton of characters, and then still not get it. Like that would be way, way more devastating to me, for my own personal decision making anyway. But I don't know. I had a lot of them to begin with, and the first year that they changed the Love Rocket to use the new drop rate system, I got it. So I'm kind of biased because it's been working for me. I don't think I've missed any. And had to wait for like a subsequent year. I remember one of you guys missed the Noble Garden mount, like it just would not drop, and you had to wait until the following year to get it. But I think they did get it pretty early in the following year. You have all the llamas? Still farming for Molly? I actually don't have Patty. The Secrets of Azeroth llama. Or alpaca, whatever. One of those things. I have Molly. I have the ones that were added in BFA, but the one they added later in Dragonflight for Secrets, I never did. I had to wait for Arphis. I was not happy. I have Love Rocket, but not the new broom. Yeah, the broom was kind of cool. I like that one. But yeah, like I said, it's easy for me to sit here and say I like the system because it's been working for me. I'm sure I would feel much different if I was not getting any drops. Ready? Have we got any armor? Any equipment? Oh, yeah. Well, no, those are plate. We need cloth. We need cloth upgrades. That's a sword. It's a good sword. I have a one-handed dagger on right now. I have a one-handed agi dagger and no offhand on right now. Good grief. Okay, int sword and an offhand. Thank goodness for quest rewards. I had no idea. Oh dear. Oh man, I think I'm about to do a lot more damage. I have a funny feeling. Yeah, come on boy, get your stuff together. Oh dear. Pick up some more of these guys. Although I do want to make sure that I want to do 3 more world quests, and I want to go do the other 2 delves. I also would love to use the warband map just to discover everything here. Just have him stab everything. I remember during time walking, someone had a counter for time walking attempts, and it was near 5,000, and I felt guilty for getting the Infinite Reaver one. Yeah. What a silly boy. Fucking Brewfest makes me happy, standing there listening to the funny music. I love the chaos of the Brewfest invasions when, like, the mean dwarf, like, shows up and takes over. I think that's so fun. This is much faster now that I know which where the things are gonna spawn. I don't have to run around looking for them anymore. Almost 72. Any other side quests to pick up over here? I'm not really picky between doing main quests or side quests. As long as we're in the Isle of Dorn, we're doing good. Even if it's a quest that like this that doesn't really involve me doing any mob killing. It might, you know, I don't know if they have quests that involve mob killing after them. They might. Treasure reward at the tip of the isle. Or we have to complete a previous expansion to complete this one. That's probably the dog, where you need to get the dog recruited to your Pandaria farm in order to interact with it and collect it at the end. I'm guessing that's what it is. I haven't actually finished it on my main because the main character that I did the rest of the thing on didn't have the dog. And I haven't gone back to go get it yet. I'd have to look up how to do it. It's been so many years. Move the dog from my garrison to Dalaran, so I'm behind. I'm sure I had it on some character, but I don't think I have my old mains from Mop anymore. I think that I probably deleted them on a different server years ago, and it's not such a big deal that I need to recover them.
Ah, a new experience.
Okay. I want to do, oh, there's all kinds of stuff going on over here. I want to do Lost Miners. It's cool that it tells you the story variant when you mouse over the delve thing. That's neat.
What is your command?
And then this is nice because this is an actual kill quest. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's have it. Garrisons are so much work, especially when it's not current content. It just makes me excited for housing. Bizarrely enough, it doesn't feel that much easier to kill stuff now that I have an int weapon on. You'd think it would have made an enormous difference. Thought I would want to get tier 3 and everything unlocked in a bunch of my mains. No thanks. No. I feel like, I guess if you're trying to do legacy profession catch-up, then you want to have garrisons and a bunch of characters, but I always found it sufficient to have it done on just one. Partly for professions, yeah. There was some good gold making that I think you can still do to this day. Some people will do garrison cooldowns for gold. Like profession cooldowns in crafting. It always sounded too fussy for me. What's your favorite class right now? Oh, gotta be priest. I love priest. I like playing holy priest. I'm happy with holy priest right now, actually. Although I'm always happy with holy priest, but it's fun right now. I've been really enjoying playing it for raid and keys. And then shadow's a really fun spec to be questing in, and sometimes I dip into it for if someone needs me to DPS a key instead. Where is your cat? Oh, she was here earlier. She has wandered off somewhere else in the house. She's around. Apparently they nerfed the omen cards. Oh. They nerfed that about a month ago? At least the really efficient one. Oh, at least the really efficient one. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you're talking about the Draenor Garrison. Took a second for my brain to buffer. The Draenor Garrison profession cooldowns for gold making. Gotcha. Wow, what a random thing for them to nerf in, you know, the year 2025. Can you make a YouTube when you get around to getting the dog? I don't like the idea of not completing a zone. You're probably... Here, let me see if I can pull up a guide on it, because there's got to be a write-up on Wowhead, and that... You could be waiting for years if you're waiting for me to make a video. I never make videos anymore. I talk a big game about it, and then I don't do it. Let me see. Dog, Pandaria, Farm, Guide, Wowhead. Let's see if we can find something. Here we go. There you go. There's your guide. Just so you're not waiting for like 15 years for me to do it. I miss the 500 gold from Dragon Races. Me too. Me too. Oh, I nearly have the bonus objective done. Conducting a bit of a war on niche gold making. Another change to top gold making from some really old open world farms. Strange. What an odd thing to do. It just seems like such a niche thing. Oh well. Like, I get that if it's like a raw gold farm, then that makes more sense to me because that kind of thing would drive inflation. But if it's just something where you're selling old stuff to old collectors and whatever, I don't really get the point of nerfing it. But I guess I don't know what it is that they nerfed or why, so I'm just talking about it. Go.
Speak and be heard.
Oh yeah, bosses. Burgle, gurgle, murgle, wurgle, and purgle, urgle. I know I did this yesterday, but it still makes me giggle. And this guy. Maybe I should be casting my cast ball earlier to get the big stompy demon up faster. Maybe there's a thought. Where are your shards? Hello. Hi, Bucky Parks. I hope you're having a nice weekend. I don't know. I think I'm being punished by the universe for my sheer mule-headed stubbornness in not doing the popular farm. Flies or mosquitoes keep buzzing around my phone screen. Well, that's no fun. Have to live vicariously. Tried switching homes for my two PCs. Now neither will power on. Ooh. Oh, that's annoying. I wonder if there's like a loose connection in the case somewhere. Or it's happened to me a couple times in my life that I've been like, oh man, my PC won't turn on, and it was the power switch on the back of the power supply that had been toggled and I forgot. I've done that before.
May all paths be open to you.
460. Yep, that's definitely needed. That's a huge upgrade. Do this world quest. I think after boy, I want to pick out one of my warriors maybe for leveling here.
For a race. Come fly with us.
But we've got a few more levels to do on boy first. Maybe not even. Well, I was gonna say a melee, but I guess my rogue was a melee, wasn't she? Which add-on shows you the way to quests. That is called Waypoint UI. It just kind of reskins the default in-game waypoint marker to make it a lot more visible and easy to follow. If you've ever seen kind of like a yellow polyhedron looking thing, that's the default one, and Waypoint UI just kind of replaces that with something that's a bit more visible. Got my 9th Crackling Shard, killing Plague Hearth. Keeping track of the kills. 5,000 kills for those 9 shards. Really? 5,000 Plague Hearth kills or just like kills in general? Make multiple waypoints with it. I don't know. I only ever have one at a time. I don't think so. I figure if I have multiple places to be, then I should do them one at a time. Let's defeat the Fungarians. That was a world quest. That is a rare. This is a delve that I want to do. Let's get in the delve. Fungal folly time. Not kills in total. Oh man. It's been 1,000 kills since my last shard. Link is on my Microsoft to-do list. Struggling with what to do before Remix. Started using one of my druids more for classic dungeons. Started my lazy speed druid set. Just the headpiece from Toldagor, some of the benthic pieces. What else is lazy I could add? Files of alacrity. There's a speed file you can buy, like a consumable you can use that lasts for a while. That'll give you some extra speed. I'm trying to remember if Bonefish still works. Just thinking like consumables. Enchants are good too. There's speed enchants. You can check the auction house and look for pieces of green gear that have speed on them as a tertiary, but they might be expensive. But I know sometimes you just end up buying those things. It's 10 scouts rescued today. This story is not as good as my last story. Well, that's okay. Level 80 druid. Yeah. You farm in for a Mog? That's always fun. I don't even remember what poor Barnacles is wearing. I'm so lazy about speed sets because Flappy will just make them for me. if I talk enough about how I'm not going very fast and I just don't know what to do and I get so overwhelmed, then Flappy will just mail me an entire set and I just put it on and go, thank you. Really nice of you. Because he knows them like the back of his hand. Got it all down pat. Yeah, for Mog. Nice. Hazel, how are you? Hi, Kenny. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm good. I'm enjoying a nice chill weekend. What did I do yesterday? I got groceries. When I lived in the city, I was so lazy. I would get groceries delivered more often than not because it didn't really cost me anything extra to have them brought to my door. So I was like, well, why would I go to the store if I could just have them drop it off at my door? So I usually didn't go to the store. Or if I did, it would be like a different store every time and there would be months in between. So I would end up like not knowing where anything was. But now it's a bit of a different situation and I'm going to an actual store. And because I keep going back there, I'm starting to learn where stuff is. And I think eventually I'm going to reach peak efficiency and then they're going to reorganize the store and I'm going to be very mad about it. Shadowlands crafting gear good for a speed set if you have Shadowlands crafting or a friend that does. Want to be level 61. And she's 80. She's got on an 80 druid though. We're looking for lazy stuff that you can add to an 80 druid. I want this Michael Bloom. It's right there. It's looking at me. Yeah, she said she has the BFA items though. She said she's got some benthic gear and she's got the Toldagor bits. I think you got most of it. Doing a different spec for every, or a different class for every character that I'm leveling. Sort of refreshing. Get to shake it up a bunch. More efficient speed set eventually for the Zandalari. Gonna level up that. Nice. Area in, I'm guessing Tennessee. Pretty rural, lots of farms. Instacart a lot. Found that on Saturdays at like 7 a.m. I can get discount meat and produce before other people snatch up the choice bits. Makes my deep freeze a great investment. Nice, yeah. Yeah, I'm still trying to like get a handle on like when things restock and when the flyer comes out, so I can like try to stock up on things when they're on sale and kind of get a feel for like what the best, what a good deal actually is. You know, what things normally go for, so I can tell when they really are properly on sale and not just like pretend on sale. I think I'll get better at it over time, but I think that even if I'm buying things from the grocery store at full price, I'm still saving money because we're not ordering like DoorDash basically. So I think that we're already starting from some savings, and then it'll get better as I get more efficient at stuff. I have actual like pantry space now, or like space that I can use as pantry space. So it's kind of exciting being able to be like, yeah, I will get an extra case of this that I will use eventually over time. I haven't got set up with Costco yet because I don't know if I want to, but thoughts on joining Costco. It's not close to me. It's not super close. And it's a drive in a direction I don't really like. So I could maybe, if I was, I don't know, I'd rather not. Realistically, I would join Costco and I would go once a year because I would be too, like, I just wouldn't want to go otherwise because of what a pain in the butt it was going to be. I know people do it and they make like a huge pilgrimage, but I also get anxious when I buy too much stuff in one given trip because I like get paranoid that I'm bothering the cashier or something like that. The whole thing's just not worth it to me, I don't think. I think it's too far. What state? Canada. The province of British Columbia. But I'm pretty I'm not gonna say specifically where I am. I'm in the woods. That's good enough. We were almost done this dell. That's nice. I promise you. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be the person with the most stuff at Costco. That's probably true. I think one day maybe I will get over myself and I'll do it. Especially because there is one in Langford. So if I'm going back to Victoria to visit, it's not that far. I just hate driving Langford. But I could see a world where I go and I get like, you know, like 20 kilos of like basic things like flour and dried beans and lentils and stuff that I use tons of for curries, and then I like do the math for like how many pennies per meal and I get all excited about it. Have you played any Fellowship at all? Seems to be all the rage with WoW streamers. No, Fellowship of what? Of the Ring? It's like a Lord of the Rings game? Must be a Lord of the Rings game. You would be one of those people buying a million rotisserie chicken, but they'd all be for Moose. Oh, man. I just got here thinking you moved to Texas. No. No, I think it's very unlikely that I ever live in the USA again. I've done that, and I've come home, and I'm happy where I am now. I'm getting out of here. I'm leaving this one. We're going to go do the other delve. It's a game that is basically Mythic Plus. Oh, the game is just called Fellowship. Oh. It's being pitched as Mythic Plus without the MMO sound of it. Oh. Yeah, no, I don't need that. I have Mythic Plus anyway. I am extremely hard to sell on other games. I have very little reason to try anything else. I almost never hear about them in the first place. So, you can usually count on me to be playing WoW. I want to go do Creek Falls Rest. The game plays very WoW. If it's very WoW, why wouldn't I just play WoW? If I could do Mythic Plus and I could get like gear for my WoW characters and stuff. Ooh, Spring Bubble's up. Spring Bubble's always up, actually. I don't know. I'm sure it's fun. I'm sure people are having a great time. I am happy for them. I don't need it. I'm alright. Streamers who are playing it have been sponsored. Oh, yeah. That would do it. That'll do it. Yeah, no shame in that game. Appeals to people that like Mythic Plus, but not the rest of WoW and things like crafting. Ooh, that's an upgrade. I like that. Oh, and also this is going to be massive. Yep. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Perfect. Yeah, let's turn in these two. It's a legend boy, the bestest warlock ever. For Mythic Plus players, you feel put upon having to farm gold or do world content or raid. Oh, I see. I'm just, like, don't get me wrong. I do spend some gold on Mythic Plus. Normally, it's just the gold it takes to get my weapon crafted, and then flasks. And I guess food, although sometimes somebody drops a feast. But I'm so spoiled in that I don't have to spend gold really on potions. I could if I was being like super efficient, but I'm healing keys as long as I have like, I don't know, a mana potion for emergencies. I do most of my keys without using any potions aside from health pots. And I think that saves me like a lot of gold.
Communication in
Mostly play it to dress up my... Oh, any single-player open-world games? Sorry, I missed the context. Single-player open-world games. Been into Cyberpunk 2077. Not recently. The games I've been playing that aren't WoW is when I was sick, I played a bunch of Stardew Valley. I've kind of had the itch to pick up Satisfactory again, but I'm not in a big hurry to do so because I've got plenty going on in WoW. And then I was playing some RuneScape Dragon Wilds with Flabby. We've been doing a 2-person playthrough of that. Krieg Falls Rest. Do I have the Krieg Falls Rest quest? I do, yes. Holy Priest good for keys? I've been enjoying it. I think it's working for me. I'm pretty out of touch with the meta. I don't really know what anyone else is doing in this game. As long as I'm able to get through my keys, I'm happy. And it's been perfectly good for what I've been doing, which has been 10s. I think up to 12s, but we've been taking a break because we've been away for a little bit. I've got some guildies that are on vacation right now, so until they get home, I don't think I'm doing much. Which is why we're leveling alts. We want this one. Here we go.
Grab one of those enchanted candles to stay safe from these shadows.
Just heard Costco and thought Texas. Oh, yeah. Might I suggest checking out Palia? Game is free, cross-platform. Maybe, but I don't know, like, I often get recommendations, like, if you like this, you might like this, but I don't know if I'm just old and crusty or whatever, but, like, if I like blank game, then I'm just gonna play that game. It used to drive me nuts when every time I talked about Stardew, people would be like, oh man, you know, you might like Dreamlight Valley. And no shade to Dreamlight Valley. I'm sure it's cute and I'm sure it's fun. But it's owned by Disney. And one of my favorite things about Stardew Valley was that it was made by one guy, a ton of passion, and it is mercilessly ripping into corporations. Having a similar style of game made with a greater level of polish by a giga corporation, I feel like is totally antithetical to everything Stardew Valley stood for. It's not that it's a bad game, but like it's just, I don't know. Oh man. It'd be like ordering your union protest signs off Amazon. Heard the new Story of Seasons game. Was also good. Never played it myself. Can't exactly confirm. Claire Obscure. I have heard good things about that. I don't have any itch to play it. I guess I'm just not looking for new games. I guess I'm happy with the games that I have. But I know a few people around here really liked that one. Sometimes you're done with one game, you want something new that's similar. I could understand that. I guess it just doesn't happen to me very much. I did some yard work yesterday. Maybe that's where time I would be gaming is going to. I was doing some pruning. I was having at the hedge again. I'm determined to get the top lopped off of it before it gets away from me, except that I can't really reach the top even with my little ladder. But it's too expensive to buy bigger ladders, so I got a pole saw because it was like super on sale, and I'm going to try and learn how to use it, but I need some chain and blade oil or something because it's basically like a little chainsaw on a really long stick. So that's the adventure that I'm on right now. Very content with WoW. Keep playing WoW. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling. Player Obscure is indeed fantastic. I look at Palia as my raiding paladin has taken up retiring to the windswept hills of a cozy MMO for now. And come here for WoW gaming wise, but I've enjoyed the satisfactory peaks we've gotten. That was so fun. I love a good automation game. Because it just feels like it just itches like the cookie clicker part of my game, part of my brain. But Satisfactory was really cool because it had so many different things and systems to like learn and figure out. I like that one a lot. I haven't been playing it recently because I haven't really had the time, but I would like to again eventually. Good morning. Sound as if you're feeling much better and are looking fierce. Yes. Thank you very much. I am feeling much better. I am feeling, I think, quite recovered health-wise, which is a massive relief. Remember Valheim? Oh, I can never forget Valheim. When we've been playing RuneScape Dragon Wilds, I've been like, this is basically just different Valheim. With, I guess, different magic. I'm enjoying it, but I also could have enjoyed Valheim. I think we're just doing it because it's like a new thing that we haven't played before. So the headline the other day, Disney is losing billions, and was like, nice. Yeah, I heard about that. Oh, man. How's Warlock leveling? It's going pretty good. Would you believe that for the first 2 levels, I was wearing an heirloom, so locked at item level 337, Agi dagger in my main hand slot, and nothing else. And I didn't notice until like half an hour ago. Just crazy. So he's doing a little bit more damage now. Yeah, I'm sure it's pocket change, but oh no, right? I mean, if anything, I'm impressed that he was able to live his life up to that point. If I said I would believe it, would you get annoyed? I mean, it almost sounds like that's your objective. Very good thing. Raises some real questions about what caused your Warlock to have an Agi dagger in the first place. I know, right? I don't know what that was about. Couldn't tell you. And over here. Longer story. Season 1 of War Within, I accidentally used my first 2 sparks of my Warlock to craft an Agi staff, and I was mad for weeks. Oh man, I hate that. I always have to be super careful because I'm really scared of that happening to me, because that's exactly the kind of thing I would do. I get so frustrated whenever I'm crafting gear because I just hate the whole thing on principle, so I'm already in a bad mood before I even start doing anything. Forgot about Crackling Shards, gotta start farming those again. Think I'm at 4? Nice. Sometimes Warlocks feel the need to be agile. Maybe I wanted to wear a Mog or something. Maybe I wanted to Mog it to like a thing and I didn't have a dagger handy, so that was the best way I could put on a dagger Mog. I can't think of any other good excuse. It doesn't matter, we've replaced it now. Not the biggest fan of the gear crafting. It's just too complicated. Even if I was crafting something for myself, the amount of different little bits and pieces you need to figure out and combine, I feel like gives me a headache. And then you have to add on to that finding a crafter, which admittedly is not hard, but my mom told me not to talk to strangers. It's scary. I don't know why it's scary. It just is. I don't usually have to deal with it because my friend Flabby can make basically everything, but there are a couple professions he doesn't have, and then I need to go into the wilds. I too love playing social game. I hate the social part. I like the social part when it's with like the 6 people that I normally hang out with, but anybody outside of that, I'm like, I don't know, nervous. Spooky strangers. Loot something in dungeons and raid. In the moment, so many slots are filled with must-have items. Yeah. It makes it kind of annoying to figure out what your upgrades are. And to figure out what slots to craft something into. Especially when you need an embellish, but your embellishes are only valid on certain slots of gear, and it just gets kind of annoying. Treat WoW like a single-player RPG most of the time, not gonna lie. I shake like a leaf if I have to ask for craft and trade chat. I was losing it, and I'll start by saying that I'm well aware this is not ordinary behavior and that I have a problem and I should probably seek help. But like, I had asked for a crafter, and I found someone, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll send it over in just a minute. And then I realized that I was really confused, and I thought I had the stuff, but I didn't have the stuff, and then I needed to figure out what the stuff was, and I needed to get the stuff, and then I still needed a missive, and I didn't know what stats I needed, and then I didn't know what name of missive corresponded to the stats I needed. And I was like, oh my god, this person's waiting for me, they're waiting for me, they're waiting for me, and I was just freaking out. And it was fine. They waited. It didn't take that long, but like the whole experience, I could have cried. I think I was stressed about other things, but like it was not fun. Not a fan of that. Oh, it's been a long summer. Don't do anything with my guild. Lucky they've kept me in a big enough and organized enough guild to meet all my crafting needs in-house, and it's so nice. Having some fun with island expeditions today. Nice. Yeah, I like a mix of group content and single-player content, but I don't like doing group content with randoms. It's just not as much fun as doing it with people that you've known and gamed with for a long time. It's bad now because you ask for a craft and like 10 people auto-whisper you, and that alone stresses me out. Yeah, I was asking Flappy, I was like, should I tell everybody else that I found somebody already? Do I need to write apologies? And he's like, no, not really. Most people don't. Wish they would let you purchase the crafting mats for the crafting window. That would reduce a lot of the back and forth and confusion. Yeah. And I mean, I'm spoiled. I have a Brutosaur. Oh, ouchie. Careful. Like, I can just mount up right next to the thing and buy the thing and have the mail. So my excuses are not good excuses. Most are bots? I would assume most people just have an add-on that lets them whisper people quickly. As opposed to assuming that they're all like completely not present. I have trade chat muted. Yeah, me too. I keep trade and general chat muted all the time. I have to get back into trade chat if I'm going to ask for a craft, and I always feel like I'm going swimming in a public pool after many years of living in a tower as a princess. This way. I just made someone learn everything so I never have to ask a stranger. Yeah, get an auto-whisper apology macro after you find a crafter to do your craft. I also had to turn off, and I had an add-on that I forgot that I was running that filters whispers from people that aren't on my friends list, which is normally fine and makes me feel more comfy just running around playing the game. But I forgot that I had that, and it's kind of important to get whispers from strangers if you're getting something crafted at a trade chat, so I had to turn it off for a bit, and then I had to remember that I had to turn it off, and then I was like, oh my gosh, did that get filtered? I don't know. It's fine, but I might one day do the same thing that you're talking about where I have the professions that I need for my main on some altar or another. I don't need to level every profession, but if I leveled the ones that let me craft like my weapon and my armor, you know, I have a tailor and then I guess like a scribe or something that would do it. Anyway, I'm glad you guys understand. I think it's a little bit of my neuroticism showing, but you know, no one's surprised. It's fine. We're cool here. Everything's alright. I kept the public chats like that muted since I got spoiled for something in the Ardenweald leveling storyline back in Shadowlands, and I was so bitter. Oh man. That sucks. I had a few people as friend to send them more, but they're always offline when I want to craft something. Sometimes, something that's actually worked for me before is, so I had something made, I had a weapon made season 1, and then season 2 comes around and I want to get it recrafted with the new item level spark or whatever to like get the item level boosted, and I just decided to wing it, and I sent the private crafting order to the name of the crafter whose name was on my weapon in the first place, and then just set it to 48 hours because I didn't need it for a few days. I wasn't going to be on, and set it to 48 hours, and then I don't remember how long it took, but at some point in the next day or so they did craft it, even though I didn't contact them at all. I just wung it to the same person that had crafted it the first time like months ago, and they happened to still play and craft and everything. And I was like, oh, I didn't think that was gonna work. Yeah, loyal customer. Because their name is on your weapon. Like you can see, I guess I don't have anything crafted on, but you can mouse over the item and see who made it. I feel the same anxiety when I type in any Twitch chat, but this one's thanks for making it a safe space. Aww. I remember the first time I ever typed in a Twitch chat, I was like really stressed and I felt like I needed to stay at my desk until I had some idea of whether or not the streamer was going to read my message. And I was waiting for like a while because you never know, because people are like busy and the chat's moving and whatever. And I remember being like, should I get up? What if I leave and they say something? It's not that serious. After a few more years of doing it from this end, it's occurred to me that it's fine. I try to, when I'm talking with you guys, phrase things in a way where we can have a conversation, but that if you're gone, I'm not like asking something of someone that would freak them out. I try to like, I don't know, not ask direct questions unless I've been like chatting with someone for like a little bit because I don't want anyone to feel like they must stick around just because they sent a message. I try to reply in sentences instead of questions. File of Alacrity doing some work right now. Oh, nice! This is a world quest. I need to do this. This is gonna get me some gold. 844 gold to be exact. Yeah, my foot bomb trinket, that's right. Great. Things often seem much bigger and scarier when you're inexperienced with whatever it is you're doing and facing. 5 years is also crazy. I remember watching your streams when I worked on Lore Master in 2020. It's freaky to me that 2020 was half a decade ago. That's upsetting. I mean, it's not, but it is. Like, it's... The pandemic really messed with my perception of time, and I think it did for a lot of people. I think many people chill with age. Yeah, I think it can go both ways. Like, some people will chill with age because they get more life experience and they get more used to everything. And then other people will reach a point where they stop having new experiences. They kind of figure out their little groove. They live in the groove. They only engage in things in that groove, and they never do anything else. And that's when you get people that are in their 50s that will not fly to weddings because they've never been on a plane before and it's too much, which is, to be fair, completely understandable. Flying is terrifying, especially if you've never done it before. But I think that some people will get more nervous as they get older because they stop doing new things, and then you have a longer history of avoiding those things, which makes them feel scarier. It can work both ways. What do I want to do? I want to turn in my weeklies. I want to do another world quest somewhere. This one. Definitely upsetting, feels fake. I think it's the fate that all players eventually have a Warlock main face. They just look cool, you know? Got Astral Antenna for my 4 dungeon chest and an alt. Oh, nice. That's fantastic. I love mine. Mine does so much work. I was so happy I got one out of alt. Mom in her 70s, never been on a plane, will not fly anywhere. It's pretty common. I feel like most weddings in my life that I've been to have had some older relative that drove quite far to get there because they did not want to fly. I think it's more common than you'd think. Where am I going? Oh yeah, I was going to do that world quest for the weekly. That's right. You'd rather drive 12 hours to visit me instead. I think I'm going to enter my Warlock phase in midnight. I've always had one as an alt. I think I've lied to myself enough times that I was going to be a Warlock, and then I ended up back on Priest, that I don't believe my own garbage anymore. I know, every time I have that thought, I know very well that I'm going to be back on Shadow Priest within a week. So I don't even pretend it's going to be my main anymore. I'm just like, all right, I'm going to play this I'm going to gear this Warlock alt up. That'll be fun. And it is. And then when I'm back on my Shadow Priest, I never promise myself anything different. I think one of the Blizzard rules is that the Warlock transmog set needs to rock and look epic. Yeah, I could agree with that. They get really cool sets. I feel like priest sets are often really good as well. I feel like priest sets rarely let me down. Occasionally they're boring, and they sometimes get a little samey because there's only so many ways you can put wings on your shoulders, but it's I think they often get a really cool set. My first flight was fine, smooth, and the second flight I got marked and had to be searched. It was a terrible time, and I'll never do it again. It was just the random flag. Yeah, it's no fun. Security's really stressful. I've never had my person like super thoroughly searched. Obviously I've had the wand pat downs and whatever, but I had my luggage pulled once for them to go through, and I remember that was like really, like I just had like clothes in there, but it was just awkward to have somebody ripping your stuff apart in front of you and being like, yeah, those are my jammies. Can I go home now? I was like 21. Plate sets are a letdown. I feel like warrior gear is always less awesome than I want it to be. I feel like warriors tend to get the short end of the mod stick. They get a lot of really plain stuff. They use up all their cool plate ideas in Death Knights. Paladins. Me, it's my survival hunter. The Mogs are meh, and Blizzard forgets we exist, but I love leaping into battle with my war peacock while hurling high-yield explosives and melee range. Why have we not talked more about war peacocks? Only good plate sets of the DK one, but only if they have a skull on them. How often do DKs get sets without skulls on them? I feel like hunters are, like, People will often start playing a hunter because they like animals and they want to have animal pets and they enjoy their company and they like the idea of them alive. And then they go and make a bunch of hunter sets that are basically just a bunch of taxidermy. You know, there's a lot of bones and fur and claws and stuff going on there that is not, I think, always... I mean, I'm sure there's some people that have the fantasy of being like a grizzled old loner working a trap line in Antarctica or Alaska or something where they actually do that. But there's plenty of people that just like animals and wanted to fight alongside them, and they're like, wait, why are you putting corpses on my armor? Yeah, I feel attacked right now. That's why I enjoy this current hunter set so much. There's just not a lot of, there's more now, especially now that we get more of those costumey pieces, but there's not a ton of male armor sets that are for like the, I don't know, the nature lovers. Or I guess the non-violent nature lovers. Last season, pretty good too. I haven't kept up with hunter sets. I don't know what they're wearing anymore. I usually just put my hunters in their like racial transmog sets, their heritage armor. Survival Hunter to me should have been Beastmaster. We are the ones actually in the midst of the pets. Isn't it? I mean, all classes are by definition violent. We're playing World of Warcraft. We're slaughtering thousands of things for a chance at a mount. That doesn't mean that people want to wear, like, stuffed bears on their head. Some people do. Those people should have options. I think my point stands. Have you read the Wheel of Time series? Hello. I have, actually. Just the one time. But I did. I read all of them. It was a year or two ago. And I feel like it took me about a year to get through all of them. It was about a solid year, if not a little bit more. They were good. They were good. They got a little slow towards the end, but we made it. We made it through. It all kind of paid off and wrapped up nicely at the end. It was actually finished, which is good. As a Song of Ice and Fire fan, I have a great respect for any fantasy series that has an end. Gotta be a stuffed bear contingent out there somewhere. There's a druid set that has a stuffed bear head on your head, and I wear that religiously on one of my druids, or I used to anyway. It was like a Legion PvP set that I used to wear all the time.
My arrow.
Try the first book, we'll try again, to say the least. I was glad that I had read them. Because I feel like they're very, I don't know, one of the cornerstones of like modern fantasy writing. So it's one of those things that once you've read it, you'll start realizing there's references to stuff. Honestly, one of the main fantasy references that, one of the main places where I see fantasy references that I start noticing after having caught up on like a basic, like a core fantasy IP or sci-fi IP is WoW names. Like, someone will have an alt, like I've raided with two separate people, no connection, both named Landfear. And it wasn't until I read, and mind you, it's been a little while and I'm kind of mixing up my properties, but I think that's a Wheel of Time reference. Hang on, let me fact check here. What is Landfear from? Yeah, Landfear is a Wheel of Time reference. And before that, I just thought it was a funny name because I'd never read it and I'd never seen any media from it. So I was just like, oh, this is weird. Why are there multiple people named this thing? Oh, that's why. And having read The Name of the Wind now explains why I've seen so many Kavoths around. Lanfear's a baddie. Character name is Cersei, after Cersei from Game of Thrones. I don't think these zone drops exist in these classic dungeons. Someone's playing a joke on me. Oh, zone drops in classic dungeons are like crazy rare, depending on which ones you're after. Some of them are doable, but a lot of them are insane. Reminds me of all the night elf druids named some variation of Drizzt. What's that from? Hang on. What is... I'm assuming it's not a Drake thing. Do Erden. R.A. Salvatore. Dungeons and Dragons fantasy role-playing game. Oh, supporting character in the Icewind Dale trilogy. That one I have not read yet. D&D, gotcha. I think George is starting to get agitated. You'd think he would have a lot of practice at blocking it out by now.
Inquiring minds just got to
But fantasy is such an inter-referential genre. That's a brand new word. That, like, I don't know, any given reference. Like, character names are obviously from a specific property, but when you said drow, I'm like, I thought drow were from Skyrim, but of course everything kind of cannibalizes everything else. Early ones were pretty good, but I was also in high school at the time. Take that with a grain of salt. I think the next fantasy author I want to get into, and the next fantasy series I want to pick up and try is Earthsea. I want to read some Ursula Gwyn. I've never read any of it, and I want to give it a try. So when I finally get my library card sorted out for around here, I want to poke around and see if I like any of that. 506. I don't need that. I do need to wear those. That's an enormous upgrade. Wahoo. 506. Yep, happy with that. Yep, good, good. Clear up our bags a little bit, huh? That's an that's a strength axe. She's supposed to be excellent. Yeah, I heard good things. And apparently there's a lot of it. And also, as sad as this is to be a requirement for getting into an author, but she's from a slightly earlier era, and I believe she is now passed away now, rest in peace, which is tragic that we won't get any more books, but it's good in the sense that unless something is uncovered, she is unlikely to come to infamy or go nuts on Twitter or something, or do any other way to disgrace herself in a way that would make it awkward for us to read her books. I don't think, from everything I've read about her, I don't think she would. It sounds like she was awesome, but we've been through a lot. Yeah. What a world to be in, right? That's why if any of you have any weird instincts to get a hazel tattoo, which I don't even know what you would do, and also don't, but if you did, just wait until I die one day. And that way I can't, I don't know, go nuts and disgrace myself. I don't have any plans to, but I met Ursula Le Guin. She was awesome. I read nothing but good things about her. She seemed really cool. Hey, man, 10k gold over here. Shucks is gonna go get my hazel tattoo today.
that would scare you shellers.
Very distraught in my youth when I found out about Orson. Yeah. Yeah, there's like, I can't read Orson Scott Card. I can't do Lovecraft anymore. Rowling, obviously. And then, what was the other one? I mean, this is a depressing list, but there's been a few. There's been a few fantasy and or sci-fi authors that have come out as just awful people. Or just distributed? Alright. He's planning a squirrel tattoo. Yeah, put Lovecraft in the freezer when it gets scary. Or racist, you know, like... before I knew, I had a Lovecraft shirt. It was sick. It had glow-in-the-dark tentacles on it. And I was like, this is the coolest thing, because I enjoyed them just as spooky stories before I found out more about what he was like. And people go, oh, well, it was a long time ago, but it wasn't that long ago, and it sounds like he was extraordinarily racist even for the era that he lived in. Like... Just not something you want to have around. Tattoo of Hazel's face with the pink buzz cut. That's how you know you're really dedicated. Oh, I got my Hazel tattoo yesterday. Should have told me sooner. Well, I'll do my best to do right by you guys. If it helps, he expressed regret later in his life. Too little too late. Maybe he caught a glimmer of realization. Perhaps. Anyway, I didn't keep the shirt. Gaiman and Marion. Oh, I didn't know about Marion Zimmer Bradley. Oh no! I knew about Gaiman. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't judge somebody as much for engaging with... I mean, I'm not going to judge anybody for whatever it is that they want to read in their own personal time. That's your business.
The great Titan Khazdaroth
I feel like you can. Yeah, no, it's fine. Sammer Bradley did horrendous stuff. Oh god. How hard is it to just like live your life and, you know, love your family and do your job and like, I don't know, plant some petunias in the spring and not like spread hate? How hard is that? Come on, people. Oh, I think if he was alive or not, or, you know, worse stuff too. Maybe different. Ugh. All right. I need a new topic. I've bummed myself out. What are we after? We have, ooh, upgrades. This one is 389. We can replace that. When springtime comes, I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get seeds for like 30 different types of annuals, and then I'm going to plant them all, and I'm just going to see what wants to grow. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah, anyways, wow, it's cool, right? Isn't that great? Like this. Where's my crackling shards, huh? Feel like Suzanne Collins, get your huge bag of money and stay off the internet. That's the Hunger Games author, right? I feel like she's fine. I feel like she's done well. I'm sure there's plenty of people that are not problematic that can just make their art and live their lives. I won't lie to you. I love streaming. I like doing this. If I made like $1 billion, well, not $1 billion, that's unreasonable. If I made like a couple $1 million, I probably would stay off the internet. I would be in my cottage planting my daisies, talking to nobody. Trying to grow some hibiscus plants in my room so I can give the flowers to my tortoise. Ooh, that's fun. What's the next pastry you're having? Next pastry. I'm gonna make an apple pie. I bought 5 Granny Smith apples. They were like $1 per apple, so I have to make a pie. I cannot let them go bad. They weren't on sale or anything. There weren't even that many left. I think I'm not the only person that wants to make an apple pie. You're talking to moves. Love the idea about the annuals. I can't wait to have a house so I can do that. I feel like it's less commitment than the perennials, because like if I don't like them or they don't do very well, it's not like, oh man, this was supposed to bloom for the next 10 years. It's just like, well, you know, it's just for the summer, and then whatever happens, I can compost it at the end of the year and try again later. How about a moose tattoo? Not getting a tattoo, just a hypothetical. I don't have any tattoos of my pets. I know people like doing that. I have like a million pictures of my pets. My doggy is oh so handsome. I get like mushy about it. I'll just be sitting on my couch looking at my dog and I'm like, buddy, how'd you get so pretty? How did I get such a pretty dog? It is the sea. Wow, how much better one can feel in taking a break from the internet. Who would have thought? Yeah. Been there. I was starting to pull mint out of some of my garden beds yesterday when I was doing yard work. I'm trying to like carefully pull it up so I can get as much of the root system out as possible. I don't have any delusions about getting rid of it altogether. But like if I can keep it down to make room for me to grow other stuff. Does Moose do this to you too, where he just stares at you forever? My husky mix does that. No, I feel like I would be flattered. He'll come hang out with me if he wants something. And he loves his big hugs. Sometimes in the morning, or like he loves seeing me if he hasn't seen me in a little bit. Like if I've gone outside or gone to the store or whatever, and I come back, he'll be really excited about it. And my favorite is like I'll catch his eye from across the room or across the yard or something, and I'll get down kind of like on his level on my knees or like just crouch down, and I'll open up my arms and I'll go, Moosey! And then he'll like run over to me and he'll give me a huge hug, and it's the cutest thing ever. That's like our move. And then if he's on a dog bed, then he will plant his face straight down on the bed, stick his butt way up in the air, and like wiggle his spine back and forth in a maneuver that I can only describe as the Moosey Noodle. I gotta get a video of it sometime. It's like his classic move. It's really funny. He's very bendy. Love the hug so much. It's just so much. It just makes me so happy. I don't know what I did before I had a dog. I love Miss Kira too. She's not much of a runner. She's more of a trotter. Yes, she is. She's sleeping on the bed in the back there. She loves that bed back there. But it's just so fun to get him hyped up, you know? Like, I love hyping my dog up. Cause he just like bounces around like a horse. Yeah, it is her bed. I should probably switch to, I'm in a quest dungeon. I should probably switch to, whatchamacallit, kick pet in case there's interrupts for me later. I wanted to set up an aquarium in here. Get Barb in this room. I think I have room. It's just a 10-gallon tank. I have it set up in my laundry room right now, but I have a stand that I could build that I bought ages ago. And I think I could wedge it maybe in that corner or maybe behind. Well, I don't want to put it behind the door. I'll find a spot for it. I think I could put it over there too. It's kind of in the way of the window. I'll have to. I'll look at the room. I would love to wedge it in here somewhere because I miss having just a little aquarium in my office, just to kind of hang out with the fish. Because one day after Barbara leaves us, I would like to get a bed of fish for that tank. One day. No rush, of course, Barb. You can take as long as you want. My husky mix sees his third favorite person, which is one of our maintenance men who also dog sits them. Oh, that's adorable. Sometimes does a kangaroo hop with a rare bark to get him to notice him. We had an electrician in here, and Moose was like following him around, like sniffing him and like nose booping his hand and like licking his hand the entire time. Like, do you mind dogs? And he's like, no, this is fine. We love dogs. You're so sweet. I think he liked Moose. Barbara survived the move. She has! Against all odds. She's a tough old girl. Every now and then I'm like, she's not looking so good, and I wonder if she's gonna like leave us in a few days, but then she perked right back up again, so as long as Barb wants to keep on keeping on. I don't want us to get too attached though, because there's every chance that I would be very surprised if Barbara makes it another year, just because for a pet store Cherry Barb that has lost all of her friends and been living alone for a while, she's getting a little bit old. Although sometimes I think she's a bit relieved to have outlived her last remaining male compatriot, because he used to harass her, especially when it was just the two of them left in the tank and I didn't really have anything else to hold his attention, and she got really crafty about hiding places, and I think she's probably a bit relieved to not have to worry about him anymore. Yeah, maybe she's thriving in the single lifestyle. Paw print tattoos to remember our departed pup. That's very sweet. Had koi fish in a pond for like 30 years. It's gonna be sad when they start to die. I mean, maybe they won't. I was reading about koi, and they can sometimes live like a really long time. 40. There's like an urban legend about a 227-year-old Japanese koi that died in the 80s. It's not like established whether or not that's true. It's probably just a myth. Or like someone, I'm sure it was an old fish, but it's possible someone was fudging the records just to kind of get some, you know, like koi clout. But sometimes if you're lucky and they're like, you know, if you've had them for 30 years, you must be keeping them in nice conditions. I saw a TikTok about a point of view of your life as a lungfish and lived to 100 years old. A lungfish. My goodness. You lose one years ago, damaged by a heron. Was sad. Oh, I'm sorry. That really sucks. Have they ever bred? Have you ever had baby koi? Keep it covered now with a net. Yeah? This is just funny. I went on like a koi journey recently, so I'm excited to have someone to interview about it. Most are from breeding. Oh, interesting. There's a myth that if a carp or a koi lives for a long enough time, it will become a dragon. Oh, I love that. That's cool. When they breed, do you get like koi colors, or do they just show up like brown like or gray like a carp? Or whatever color carp are. Because I know they're like really selectively bred for their fun colors to begin with. I wonder if they would revert or if they would like, you know, remix. What are we doing? We're going this way. No, not that way. This way. Don't think I can handle a dragon suddenly appearing in my backyard water feature. Start at the same and then start to change colors over a couple of years. Oh, interesting. I love fish. I really enjoy spending time with fish. I know, like, I go fishing, so I can't say that I love fish to the point of preventing all harm to any of them because I catch and eat fish. And did I tell you guys that my husband brought home a salmon? I think I did. No, I didn't, because it happened yesterday. He brought home a salmon. He went fishing, brought home a big old salmon. So that was one of the things we were doing recently was cleaning it and scaling it and filleting it and shrink wrapping it and everything. So I have like a freezer full of salmon now, and I'm so excited. It was really good. It was delicious. It was a coho, big old coho salmon. So cool. I like fish too, but maybe not the way you do. They're huge. Yeah, it was amazing. It was a really cool thing to bring home. Moose was so excited. He was so interested. Wish we had salmon anywhere near us. Yeah, I love smoked salmon. I want to try making lox, because we have a freezer here that we checked, and actually it's like a deep freezer. Like it can get fish, or I guess anything, to like really, really cold temperatures, like colder than like a regular freezer would, which is one of the things that you need to do in order to safely consume raw fish like a salmon. So if we wanted to make like sushi or lox, having this deep freezer would be a prerequisite, but we actually happen to have one. It came with the house. And it's like really cool that we already have that, so we're freezing some of it, and I'm gonna try and cold smoke some lox. Or even just cold press some lox. I don't know. I saw a YouTube video a while ago. We'll figure it out. I love lox on bagels. It's like I don't even brunch, but if I was gonna brunch, that's what I'm getting. It's so good. Just have to hit below -20 Celsius. For like a certain amount of time or whatever to like make sure that any parasites are dead. Once you get it down, you should do a cooking stream about it. I might do cooking streams one day, but I would expect it to be a couple of years from now because I would want to redo some things about the kitchen. Partly just to make it more my own, but also to make it look different from any listing photos that might still be online. I want to kind of make sure that things are a bit different by the time that I show any other parts of my home on anything, so that I can just for security and stuff. Have you checked? Yeah, we used a thermometer. That's how I know how cold it gets. Is we got a special thermometer to see how cold it was getting too. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I'm not about to die to a raw fish or get a tapeworm or anything spooky like that. Actually, I don't know what kind of parasites you get, but no fun ones. So yeah, we were we're double checking that because I do want lox, but I'm not trying to get sick. I don't like being sick. Not interested. Shown into your home anywhere? No, because I want to change lots of things. Just in case there's any like old photos of the real estate listing online. I don't think there are. I've been making efforts to get them removed, but it's the internet, so you never know where there's like waybacks and stuff. So just for giga personal security, I'm trying to not show any of it until I can make some substantial changes one day. Yeah. Oh, I need to get to one of these things. That's right. Do you like sushi? I love sushi. I really do. I'm pretty boring when it comes to sushi. I know like the 5 things that I like, and I usually just do that. But it's yummy. Being in North America, I like pretty westernized sushi. I like spicy tuna. I like salmon rolls. I like Philly rolls if I'm getting smoked salmon. I love inari, actually, just like the tofu pockets with the rice in them. Those are yummy. Have you added anti-burglar boards on the floor with nails and spikes? Gonna make your own Philly roll. Oh yeah, you know it. Maybe with cucumber instead of asparagus, though. I'm not a huge... I'll eat it, but I don't think asparagus is my preferred Philly roll. All right. Where's my crackling shard? Those are a big upgrade. Those are trinkets, 509s. Stick one of them on. Especially over an unused trinket, because I'm not unusing anything. Love the asparagus rolls from our local sushi place, but it is an odd flavor. It's only good when the tops are charred. Yeah, I like a good, like, lightly grilled asparagus with salmon just on the side of it, but it's not something... Asparagus is usually bizarrely expensive, and I don't like it that much to get it on purpose, so I don't eat a whole lot of it. I tried sushi 20 years ago and again a few months ago, and now I like it. There's also, around here, it's pretty easy to get, if you don't want fish or you don't want raw fish, some sushi is made with cooked fish, and also some sushi is made without fish. Especially in, like, North America. I will almost always get, like, a yam tempura roll, or, like, a cucumber yam roll, or an yam roll, avocado and yam. I love yam. And the local cuisine has caught on to my love of yam, and they tend to put it in lots of things, which is delicious. It's usually like a pretty cheap roll to get as well, so it helps me spend less money when I'm ordering sushi. I don't have Outfitter, no. Alright, how are we doing here? We have our resonance crystals. We got some gold. We have more rested left to go. Let's see. Some questing. Let's go kill some more stuff. My gear's a little bit better than it was. I'm up to 461 and my character looks like a mess, so that's a good sign. If anything, the pieces that he has that are still looking like his old side are the pieces I know I need to replace. My mom did not like asparagus, so I did not know I liked it until I became an adult. Oh, yeah. Have you ever splurged on some fancy sushi? I once got special ordered sushi grade fish delivered from like a special company that does that. This was years ago. And made homemade sushi, but like out of like really nice sushi grade. We got some fatty tuna, we got some toro, we got some salmon, and I made it at home, and that was really good because I didn't know how thin to cut the fish, so it was like a lot of fish. But toro is like one of the more expensive, nice cuts of tuna that's like really tasty. And we got to make that at home once. A picture of more crafted disc plate? No, I don't have any disc plates. I have, they're canvas on wood frames, and they're from Blizzard. They're from the old Blizzard gear store. They don't, as far as I know, they haven't sold these specific ones for a long time, but they used to sell the expansion art on canvas on the gear store. I got them in like 2017. Here, pick up these ones. Turn in this one. Do some more questing.
Outsiders detected.
Parmesan roasted asparagus. Never below $4 for a bunch. Yeah, I tend to vary which kind of fruits and veggies I'm eating depending on what I can get a good sale on, whether it be fresh or frozen. With the exception of bananas, which are always cheap enough, and I just tend to keep those around and just eat them. Just because I know I need to eat some amount of food that's not bread in order to, like, live and not get scurvy and stuff. But I can't be buying stuff out of season or, like, when it's not on sale because who's got the money for that? Looking amazing, want like that? Why, thank you. I got a whole, I guess there's more. They go all the way along that back wall. You can't see it. You gotta take my word for it. I got a whole collection of them. They've made it through like 4 moves. They're a little banged up, but you can't tell from this distance, and that's the important thing. Something else besides making pasta? That reminds me, I bought a baguette. I could make garlic bread. Garlic toast. I think I need to be going in this cave. This is a good quest because it's lots of mobs to kill, lots of chances at crackling shards. They could drop any minute now. Last time I switched my streaming scenes to the one that is the wide angle shot, I crashed my stream, so I'm probably not gonna try and do it again. My OBS failed and just went completely down, and I had to bring my stream back online. Good luck. Tried doing a ton of Isle of Dorn for crackling shards and not a 1. Oh man. Yeah, we're not getting lucky yet, but could be any minute now. Wizardly Dog, thank you for the 3-month resub. Appreciate it. At least we're getting lots of great experience. Oh, you know what? Boy is out of rested. Boy has no more rested. I can finish this quest because I'm like in here anyway, but I should pick out my next alt to start soon. And take a look at the character select screen. I had some thoughts about a warrior, but we have all kinds of options. We can take a look. I guess I should maybe try and level some classes I don't have leveled yet. I guess by that logic, I also have, there's a Death Knight, there's a Demon Hunter, there's a whole bunch of classes like that I never leveled. Oh, hey, there's a rare down here. Crackling Shard thing seems kind of silly, but I do want that mount. I think I'm giving people the wrong impression of how hard this is. I think this is the worst way to do it. Well, I don't know about the worst way to do it, but I think people are able to, within like, I don't know, 4 to 10 hours out in the bee and wolf farm area, especially if you get like a good group that is going quite quickly and like pulling and killing things really fast, that's going to give you drops more often because you're just able to clear through mobs so much more quickly. I think that if you want to do this and just get it done, that's the way to go. I'm just getting carried away doing it this way. They're only a tiny upgrade, but I guess I'll put them on. How about Rogue? I did Rogue. I've got my Rogue started already. She's sitting at like 77 or 78, waiting for more rested. That was yesterday or the day before we were leveling Rogue. Join a group in the starter zone with party sync. Farm it super fast. Yeah. I just didn't want to join a farming group. I don't like farming and farming groups. It's not fun to me. This is really fun. And at the end of the day, that's pretty much what we're after here. Although this might bite me in the butt. I might reach a point where it's been like 3 weeks. I have a bunch of characters leveled. I have 0 Crackling Shards. And I'm like, well, never mind. I think now I'm starting to get into the quests where you're killing more mobs, though, so that's going to help. Ready for Legion Remix? Nice. I think I'm going to play a Hunter. Because that sounds like me. That sounds like something I'm going to do. Useful for next Collector's Bounty, though. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Hopefully there's another one day. I'm not going to be remembering my way out of this cave, am I? Crackling and Shards and the Delves. Yeah. Yeah, each character that I'm bringing out here, I'm doing each of the Isle of Dorn Delves once. Which is a nice way to get some experience, and it's also a nice way to get... Hang on, I didn't actually collect any opals. Nice way to get some XP and a nice way to get chances at shards, but I haven't had any drop yet. We've done maybe 10 of them? Because I've done 3 on a couple of different alts, and I did a few on my priest as well. I'm just going to hearth out of this cave, otherwise I'm going to be here for ages. I'm holding the shards that I have on my priest's bags. They are not in my warbank. Tinfoil a while ago, but I'm not dropping if you have them in a warbank. Oh, man. No, they're not in my warbank. Oh! I've just hearthed to Valdraken. Oopsies. Oopsie-daisy. I meant to head myself to Dorn. I should probably update my Hearthstone there, huh? Got 44 shards in total. I agree with Jeff. You must play a lot. Keep mine in the warbank. They still drop. I think it's just an item that has such a low drop rate in general that it's very easy to get to like buy into different like theories about why they're not dropping, because the human brain really doesn't like the idea of trying something, you know, 5,000 times and it not happening when it's supposed to, or when you think it should. We really don't like the idea of actual randomness because it's kind of cruel. So anything that could possibly explain why tends to get glommed onto. It's just a really low drop rate. Okay. Don't worry, the player base won't let Blizzard forget about Collector's Bounty. Alright, this time I'm setting my Hearthstone to Dornagal. I thought this is where I thought I was hearthing back to. For here.
My
Set me
directive
in here.
is to serve you. My directive has been fulfilled.
I think you could get 43 if you used them. Like, you combine them into a storm vessel every time. I did farm Sia's Barg. I did farm Sia's Barg. 9 of the shards during the first part of the mount. Yeah. No luck there. I am going to take a short break. I think I will... I'll be right back. Thanks for your patience. I think it is time. I mean, I kind of want to turn in the, kind of want to pop over and turn in, the Delver's Call quest, because that's just a lot of experience. And then maybe the ones that we already did, but nah, I'll just pop in and turn in the Delver's Call quest. Time to pick out another alt set up for out here. Only 2 for me. Then again, not trying, have no alts. Yeah. There we go.
May Freya guide you.
Alright. Go dump some of this golden ore bank. Created 10 for the mount. Currently have a few in my bank. Yeah, I think once you turn them into a storm vessel, you could get more shards to drop. I've heard of people getting excess shards after their first 10 quite a few times, so it gives me hope that they're not like so rare that I'll never see any ever. Right? Where this game's gonna give at least one up to me soon. Or, well, maybe not soon, maybe eventually.
I have an extended
Alright.
supply
Oh,
of
back up to 50k in here, that's nice. Also, I did another thing, is I went and I kept 5k pet charms, but I took like 2,700 out of my bank, and I converted those into stones, and I leveled up almost all of the pets that I have that are not 25. I have 2 pets left that are sub 25. Wobbles here just needs 1 level, and then Wriggle needs 10, 9. But aside from that, my pets are all level 25, and I believe they are all rare now as well. Yeah, they are. So I got that all caught up. Got 2 from Cinderbee farming. Nice. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm logging off. All right, boy, get some more rested. Actually, if he's gonna log off for rested, I know he could get some just sitting out on the plaza there, but let's pop him. Let's get him in a nice little bed. You know, what's the point of being in an inn if you're not gonna actually? There are beds in this inn, aren't there? I don't know if I've ever gone to look for any. This is the cellar. Wow, this place goes really deep. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Wait. Oh, nice. Gnome power. I can fit. Oh, there was a yawning NPC around Dornigal that would make me yawn. Followed your example by leveling alts and just got my first shard to drop in a delve. Oh, nice. Alright, I could stick with my gnome theme and I could start my gnome warrior. Although I also have a Tauren, a Worgen, level 69 troll warrior as well if I wanted to do a warrior. Oh, but she's just so cute. Remember when you first arrive in Dornigal, there's no one in any of the inns or facilities? The earth had barely used any of it. Hey, Kitty, do you want to come back up? Okay, this character is in Dornigal, so that's a good start. I'm apparently a Fury Warrior. Good to know. I'm in the starter build. My Hearthstone would take me to Borellis, so I'm going to update that right now before I forget. And we will get started all over again. Here, I don't need Imperial Karaji Regalia. It's all good. Rested to consume. What are her weapons? She has two two-handers. I guess that's basically how this works. And we're going to get all three of these weeklies set up here. I like that one. I wonder if Theater Troop's a good idea for Shards. I've never gotten one from there. And I've done like quite a few Theater Troops in my day, so I'm feeling like it wouldn't be that awesome. And we're going to pick up, he should have the Delve one. I don't know why he's not showing it to me, but he does have it, so that's good. This character is wearing Dragonflight gear, so she's going to need all these upgrades as well. Hi, kitty. You're so cute. You're so sweet. How are you doing today? You warm enough?
There we go. Batteries in and supplying power. Let's see what this thing
Oh
is.
yeah, I love Heracleap.
Blast it all to
I love Heracleap and a gnome. I feel like a tiny little meteor shard.
All these discs are cracked or broken. We'll need more disc fragments if we're to get anything useful out of this machine.
I suppose that's where our friend comes in.
And then we'll make sure that we have our map uncovered. Usually I have a quest over there that I never picked up. Oh, I didn't even meet Jaina yet. I need to go back and meet Jaina to start the campaign out here. Okay, let's do that actually. Anyways, our Hearthstone's out here, so that's good. Never heard the girl gnome yell. It's adorable. Yeah, I like it a lot. You get it a lot on melee gnomes.
Go with honor, friend.
Quest add-on looks very clean. Well, thanks. That one is Dialogue UI. Big fan of that. What's her mount? She's a warrior. She's a gnome. She is fun and exciting and wants to ride a... Clicking randomly until something speaks to me here. Giant fish. Another gnome. Yeah. I figure we're on a winning streak here. There's a broom. Oh, that's cute. That's the trading post one. All right. So many mounts, nothing to ride. Hi. Baby girl. The core crunch checker not. Does that even fly? Whoa. Here we go. Hi, Janet. If you could, luckily this skip does not take us very long. You just do this part, you do this part, and they spit you right out there to get started. And then bizarrely enough, I need to go fly back over there to pick up the campaign. This kitty needs some pets. I'm available. Trying to decide what to play during Legion Remix. What's everyone going as? I'm doing a hunter. I tried to do a priest for Pandaria Remix, and then I realized that once people get kind of overpowered, healers are not necessary anymore. So I gave up on playing anything for the sake of its healing spec, and was like, what would be fun to just run around and shoot things on? And the answer is, hunters are always fun to run around and shoot things on. I would pick your comfiest DPS spec if I was just kind of hazarding like a guess. I don't know if I should actually try to fight that. I think he's going to win. Here, we'll give it a go. Press some cooldowns or something. Demon Hunter, remember how fast they were in Mop Remix? I want to go zoom. I remember how to play this well enough. Oh, I should turn on rarity. Hang on. Just to have it on. Hunter's my main since BC. I love my Hunter alts. I make so many of them. She's really giving me the business. These are the mobs that you farm for the Shards party sync? Oh. You got Breeze Biter! Nice! Congratulations! That's incredible! Congrats. That's a really... I like those mounts a lot. Those fox-looking Slyvern things.
We have to push forward or we'll be slaughtered.
And an alternate dead server is really paying off. That's a good idea. I should park my RP server alt out there and just check on it every once in a while. Although not until I'm done my Crackling Shard farm. Nothing shall distract us from our Crackling Shard farm. Also have one in a low pop realm. Almost 70 attempts so far. Holy. Yeah, I think I killed Breezebiter the rare maybe one time during Dragonflight. Did not happen to find up very much, and then I never tried to camp it because it just looked so miserable. War mode on an RP server, Breezebiter was up almost every morning when I checked. Interesting, that does make sense. How many shards? I have it right there in the stream title. I have 2 out of 10 shards so far. I am alt leveling. My chosen strategy is alt leveling on the Isle of Dorn, and then I'm doing the delves while I'm leveling. So I'm a little of delves and a little bit of questing out here. And this way I'm also getting my alts leveled up and some extra golden resonance crystals from the weeklies too. I want this one. Yeah. Soundless is the next hurdle, but I hear Najadar resets and you just have to camp it all day. Oh man. Living the casual WoW life. It's been surprisingly fun getting to know all of these old alts again, you know? I kind of forgot how cute they were until I pulled them up and started questing on them again. Gnome Fury Warrior is so much fun. You know what I should do when I get 2 weapons that are updated weapons for questing? Is I should mog them into the goofiest two-hander I can find in my transmog journal. This character is item level nothing, and these things are falling apart way faster than they were for my other characters. That's nice. Love that.
Lose my friends again.
Just warrior thing. Because it feels like there's lots of options for buttons, and they kind of light up. I mean, I have a rotation assist on, so they definitely light up whenever I should press them. But it doesn't feel like there's a huge wrong answer. Like, it seems like almost any button I press, and some amount of decent damage is happening. I don't like that. Also, I love this mobility. Heroic Leap is great. That was fun. And your cooldowns, I feel like I can just kind of press them whenever. Like Avatar, Recklessness, I can just kind of chuck them. I don't, because sometimes on a class, like I feel like I don't want to use my cooldowns unless I have like the setup right. And maybe there is a setup for Fury Warrior too, but I haven't learned it yet, so I'm just kind of pressing them, and then even more damage happens. Yeah, that's true. My other character was using an Agi dagger at this level. That's right. I were lying. This character at least has the correct weapon types on. That is a good start.
Magni is in trouble. Follow me. Magni can't hold off Xerxes much longer.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like I'm about to do this wrong, really. Specific rotation that comes later, but it absolutely doesn't matter here. Nice. I got my battle shout out. I'm living. Next time I do a warrior, I should do arms, just so I can try them both out. I do enjoy the melee plate classes in the open world a lot, but once I'm doing dungeons, I enjoy it less. Yeah, I don't like melee, or at least I have this idea that I don't like melee in dungeons on account of it being hard for me to see what's going on up in melee, so I'm more likely to stand in something that I shouldn't. Like, I'm more likely to get clipped by, like, a mob doing a frontal that I'm not familiar with, because I'm not used to being up in melee. Arms always feels kind of empty after playing Fury. Arms is disappointing currently. Oh. Well, maybe I won't try it then. Here. Sorted. Couple of intro quests to just pop through here. Made it for years and for the first time switched off of it. You were having a good time on Prot earlier this season, right? I feel like I remember you were tanking a couple of things. Got a shard in 20 attempts in the sand rare. Counted that as a win. Nice. That's good stuff. I feel like I'm getting a little faster at all these quests the more I do them. I'm less disoriented because we've run this 5 times now. It's nice. It's like learning where all your sections are in the grocery store. Fury really strong, at least after they finally fixed that random bug. Got tired of pugging. My new raid team has tanks, so I opted for a DPS main. Oh, nice. Yeah, I can't blame you for that at all. Not that I would blame you for anything. But imagine one day you come in a stream and you give me a piece of news and I'm like, how could you?
The attack is another part of Zalatat's.
After everything we talked about. Stranger on the internet. Just disappointed. You can absolutely blame me. Nah. Would never. I am. Nothing we're doing here is that serious. This one. Oh yeah, font size, that's right. I was like wondering why my chat windows make my eyes itchy, and it's because the words are really big. Mistakes like anyone, and I have developed a thick skin about it. I feel like there's a time and a place for criticism, and in the adult world, as long as you're not doing anything that is like wildly dangerous or harmful to anyone, which most of us are not, I feel like, you know, you get at a certain point, people are just gonna do their thing, and if they want to improve at it or see criticism, that's when they go looking for, you know, I feel like it should be on an as requested basis and not just like freely offered. You know, if you want to learn how to do something better, you get some lessons or look up some YouTube videos or ask around, and then it's more appropriate as opposed to just wandering up on someone who's living their life being like, you should do this differently. Do you guys know if Remix is on PTR? Actually, I have no idea. I haven't looked. Am I not supposed to play WoW in an active minefield?
Please deposit his memory gem into the archives repository.
Depends on how much the poor choices affect other people. I think it's safe to say that in World of Warcraft, as long as their choices are not hacking your account and deleting everything, we can all get over the things that other people are generally doing. Especially when, by and large, it's just like how they have their UI set up. What order they're using their cooldowns on. Like, we can all just chill out. You know, just exactly move on with your day.
The Titans will return. Be ready.
What was I asking for? Profession training. That's what they want me to look after.
Resuming work site.
Gold Shire RP. I will never forgive the clickers. It's listen, backpedaling. That's where we draw the line. Walking nothing but backwards. Beep. Beep. Beep.
The entire isle is under attack. Praise the Titans.
They want the
who are
innkeeper.
Beds are scarce. We have resorted to using
Do you still beep like that when Mace backs up? I do, and I swear he's starting to learn it as a command. Sometimes I'll start making the beep noise, he's like, okay, and he starts backing up, and it's the funniest thing.
minds just gone.
I'm not about to leave the Isle of Dorn unexplored.
He gets himself into a lot of places that he has to back out of. There's a lot of like narrow corners in this place that he likes to stick his nose into, and then it's like, alright buddy, I'm gonna need you to reverse.
Work cycle.
Gosh, I love him so much. He's so funny.
Storm Riders. The city may have fallen. We need the council's direction.
Over here? No, that's the profession exchanger. Who's auditor? Oh, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to track it, and then it's going to tell me where they are. Up here. PRP, time to scrub my bathtub. Nice. You know what I'm getting that I'm very excited about? Just, I know Dave's AFK, but like for the room. They sell them for like car detailing, but like brush attachments for an electric drill so that you can use the torque and power of your drill to scrub something that needs more scrubbing than you are willing or capable to give it with elbow grease. Often for kind of like detailing like a bathtub that has a lot of soap scum built up on it or something. I'm very excited about it. It wasn't like I already have the drill, so getting the attachment for it wasn't that much extra money. I was already ordering special ordering a dryer vent cleaning brush because I want to get that set up as well. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to splurge. I'm dropping the extra $15. I'm getting the brush kit. I'm so excited. I don't even know exactly what I want to scrub. I think I want to scrub some linoleum to see if it's a different color underneath all that. It's probably just faded, but what if it's dirty? And then I want to give it a go on some of the corners of the tub too. Sounds like a useful device. I think it's more of a toy than anything else, but there may one day be a thing where I'm like, you know what I really need for this? Torque. Alright, off to Edelgon. You're like, pay attention to me. Need that for my bathroom. Got one of the spinny brushes they advertise. Yeah, work smart, not hard. I think they've gone viral recently. It's probably how they got me, but I'm excited. It sounds like fun. Also, I'm going to do this world quest because it's very fast and it's going to be 800 gold. I got a dedicated water-resistant rotary scrubber that's basically that exact thing. I was kind of disappointed, but that's just because the grout in our tiled area is just permanently dirty. Grout is very hard, I feel like, to get, like... I think sometimes you're never going to get it exactly back, and that's kind of why I'm resistant to do anything in tile in an area like a tub or, like, floors. Like... I think I would tile like a kitchen backsplash or a bathroom backsplash, but I feel like I want something different for floors and showers just because of how easy it is for grout to get like really grimy or really moldy in a way that's just so annoying to deal with. Yeah, still at 2 shards. Who has a technique for the teeny gap between the counter and the stovetop? I don't think there's a lot you can do aside from a very narrow attachment for your vacuum or moving the stove out. Which you got to be careful because you can damage your floors pretty easily, especially if you're renting. But moving the stove out to clean behind it and in that gap, I feel like sometimes you just have to move it. What am I doing? That's what I'm doing. They make good sealant for grout once you get them clean. If only my husband would put his drill in the charger when he's done with it. I feel like I would discover the drill without battery, and then I would plug it in to charge, and then it'd be like, well, I can't possibly do anything productive until this is finished, so I'm going to sit down and play a game for an hour. And then the rest of my day would go on. I would never get around to the chore, but I would still feel productive because I at least charged the drill. Tie a rope around a rag, do the sawing thing. Well, that sounds like a good idea. I've not heard of that. I feel like I would lose, like, it would come off, though. I feel like that would be a great way for me to lose a rag behind my stove. They make silicone things to put over the gap so nothing goes down there. That's probably smart. It's like the joys of finding cabinets that go all the way to the ceiling so you don't have a random dusty spot on top of your cabinets that is not useful and just collects dust. Like we talked about yesterday, good knots save time. Well, if you're tying something like a rag, though, you don't have anything, unless you have, like, a grommet in your rag. You don't have any, you'd just be tying around, like, the body of it. Like, it wouldn't be your knot that fails, it would be the thing that slips out of the knot. Although, maybe you guys all have, like, grommeted rags or something, I don't know. I missed that day in home ec. Awesome for limescale in the bathroom, spray acid on it, wait 10 minutes, start your drill. Yeah, that's the thing that I've learned most about, because I got kind of obsessed with cleaning YouTube videos when I was in the sort of the waiting period before I moved in. And the thing I got really, the main thing that I learned from that was how important it is to respect the dwell time of your cleaners and give them time to work on stuff, especially if it's like a tough job like soap scum in your shower or like grease or whatever it is. You know, pick the right cleaner for the task, spray some on, and then give it a little bit. Like, I used to be so impatient that I would spray stuff on, I would wipe it off, and I would be like, how come I still have to scrub? What is this? And I just wouldn't give it time to work. And you don't want to let it dry out, but you do want to give cleaners enough time to sit on the thing that they're trying to get off and like actually penetrate and work on it a little bit. It's not going to happen like instantly. And I don't think I had that click through my brain until I watched like an insane amount of YouTube while I was obsessed. And it's been helping a lot. Husband has a quarter drill, have no excuse. Hesitant to have a 30-year-old plug drill near water to scrub shower tiles. Have to be careful about floor grease. Try to do more than charge a drill. Have to wonder if I'm productive some days or doing barely the bare minimum. Something I remind myself of, or I try to, is that even if I didn't accomplish anything near close to what I wanted to, I got up and I did my best, and that's enough. It's all you can do. You can't, you know, you can't, there's probably a good reason for why something else didn't happen, you know, even if it's just like a bit of burnout or not enough energy or like a lot of other stuff going on or like mental stress sometimes. I feel like we often expect a lot more from ourselves than is reasonable, and it's really hard, but it's been helpful for me to try to like learn how to not be so hard on yourself when you had what felt like a useless day, because you got up, you probably did more than you're giving yourself credit for, and you know, you tried. You had that another day. Careful about floor grease. I got Dawn Power Wash for like really heavy grease, and it's been so cool. There was like a weird greasy, I don't know, layer in one of my cabinets, and I don't know what it was from, and I don't really want to know. But I sprayed some Dawn Power Wash on it, and then I let it be for like 10 minutes, and then I came back and I was scrubbing it with Scrub Daddy, which is another thing I've been influenced to buy, and it came off, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think this would ever happen. I wish I'd known all of this like 15 years ago. Got 5 errands done today, doing laundry, winning at life right now. Nice. Getting up, doing your best, resulted in a family and a house. I know, right? I always feel like I haven't quite got my stuff together, but I'm still like, I don't know, getting goals that I want together, so that I must not be doing terribly, even if I don't feel like I've really figured it out yet. They want me to do, yeah, they want me to do Earth Crawl Mines now. Alright. Let's go save the Earthen. Let's make sure we do everything that they're asking me to here. I'm gonna have a DPS this time. I firmly believe that stuff will clean anything. Dawn Power Wash Miracle Product. You gotta be careful with any strong cleaner that you are not using it for things that are too delicate for it, because you do have, with basically anything, the capacity to damage surfaces and finishes. So you want to kind of be mindful of what you're using on where and how long you're leaving it if it is a more delicate thing. But, man, it sure can do some work. I only use that stuff for like really sticky, thick grease, but holy moly does it get rid of it. Oh no, you're fine. You're totally fine. Don't understand the Scrub Daddy hype. Tried one once, fell apart really fast. Mine is in like perfect condition despite having used it for a month so far. I don't know. And maybe it just varies or based on what you're doing with it. I got a Scrub Mommy for the kitchen and a Scrub Daddy for just like assorted other scrubbing jobs. And it doesn't even smell bad. Like, I think it's because it dries in such a way where like it actually dries. It doesn't hold on to water like the other kinds of sponges do. But like, and I guess I bleached it like once, but it's shocking to me that it doesn't stink, because I never used to have a sponge that wouldn't stink after like 2 days. So it's, I don't know, I'm a big fan. Oh, maybe yours was a dud. Yeah, tough to say what happened. It could have been lots of stuff. But I guess I was in the mood to be influenced about something. I don't want that one. I do need to use this. Like, don't get me wrong, it's definitely plastic that you're buying to eventually, like, it's not the most eco-friendly of solutions, but I found that's a rabbit hole you can chase for a really long time, and then eventually you can't do anything, so. Thanks for reminding us. We're all doing what we can. Husband travels for work a bunch, and I feel like taking care of things solo is impossible. Yeah, it's hard. I've started to kind of come to peace with the fact that I will have days that are really productive, and I will have days, and sometimes big stretches of them at a time, where I'm doing almost nothing and I'm just barely treading water. And it kind of comes and goes in waves. And I, for years, would torment myself about not being able to keep to my higher level of productivity all the time, because I'm like, obviously you can do it. You did it on Tuesday or whatever it was. You know, you did it when you had this thing in front of you. What's wrong with you now? And I would just go through that over and over and over and over and over again. And I've kind of started to let myself realize that there's going to be ebbs and flows. And some days you're on fire and you'll do all kinds of stuff. And that's great. You know, ride that wave if you have it. And some days it's not there. And that's fine too. I'm never going to be like a super perfect machine. It's just not what's going to happen. And that's okay. And I'm making peace with my own humanness and mediocrity. Nothing says I have to be amazing. I think it's just because I was I don't know, precocious kid and I really thought I was destined for greatness, and I'm letting go of greatness because it just sounds like a lot of work. Like power wash isn't as strong as oven cleaner. My hands and stuff still good enough to cut through it without ruining my skin. Are you not a fan of gloves? I know some people aren't. I cannot make my husband wear gloves to clean anything for my life. But I love them. I put on gloves even when I'm just like wiping down counters and stuff because I just don't like getting anything on my hands. So I keep dish gloves around for different tasks and stuff. I know some people don't like it, but especially, like, I think it started when I was doing my nail art and I wanted to protect my nail art. But even just protecting the skin on my hands because I get like eczema. Hate wearing gloves, but also hate the feel of stuff on me. Only wear gloves for bathroom. Interesting. A lot of you hate gloves. Bad at fine control with gloves. Oh man, I love them. I love wearing, because it makes me feel like armor. I feel like I'm suited up for battle. Like the puny, gross, squishy things cannot reach me. Because I really hate the tactile feeling of like wet, gross, squishy stuff on my hands, which is a lot of what cleaning is, especially dishes. And I felt like I just cracked the code when I realized I could wear gloves for whatever I want, and then I don't have to feel, you know, like even the liquid of it will never touch my skin. Have to have gloves doing the dishes because the food, yeah, that's why I started. And then also it lets me tolerate hotter water, which helps my dishes dry faster in the dish rack because I can wash them in pretty hot water without damaging my hands. My husband washes dishes in scalding hot water without gloves, and I don't really understand how. I think he might be made of titanium. He wears shorts in the winter, and he like I'll touch the water that he's been washing dishes in, and I'll be like, whoa, honey, what are you doing? But like, he's fine. He's not burned at all. Have a latex allergy. That would make it harder. Is he the Terminator? I haven't confirmed that he's not. Oh, I need to go upstairs. That's right. Oh, man. I used to go through a set of dish gloves pretty often because I would get like tears and holes in them. And I don't know what changed, but lately they've been lasting like basically forever. And it's like every once in a while I will like I'll spray some like bleach cleaner on them, or even just like dish soap, and I'll give them like a really good, like I'll wash my hands while wearing the gloves to wash the outside of the gloves to make sure they're vaguely clean. I don't know, I'm happy with it. Looks good. Love work gloves for the sake of the grip. Those rubberized ones feel like they multiply my grip strength. I love nitrile gardening gloves. Is it nitrile? Maybe no. Those are like plastic gloves. I love the rubbery grip garden gloves that you can get. Because I'm out in the yard, I'm pulling out all kinds of thorny blackberries and raspberries and roses and holly and spiky stuff. And I'm like, haha, it can still stab me, but it's harder. It has some layers to get through first. I just feel like cleaning chemicals add on another layer to my hands to protect me from the other cleaning chemicals. Oh, man. Use gloves in my garden because tomato plants bother my skin, but cannot pick and hold the cherry tomatoes worth anything. Do they fit correctly? Are you wearing gloves that are the wrong size? I mean, maybe it's just, lots of people have that problem, so I don't think you're doing anything wrong. They fit perfectly. Oh. Yeah, that sucks. I think I'm just a glove fanatic. I think I'm just odd. Nitrile gloves are what I would wear at work. I think I'm getting confused because I once bought a box of nitrile gloves, which were sold for medical use, but I bought them to wear because they were cheap and disposable, and I bought them to wear for processing peppers. Like years ago when I had that hot pepper phase and I was slicing them up and they were like biohazard levels of spicy, I needed to wear gloves in order to handle them. And I bought nitrile gloves so I could have disposable cheap gloves to wear to protect my skin from these peppers that I was theoretically going to eat. Which add-on shows the quest markers with a vertical beam of light? That one is Dialogue UI. Dialogue U... Or, sorry, no, pardon me. Waypoint UI. I'm spacing. Waypoint UI is the one you're looking for. Waypoint UI. Spouse wears gloves for everything, but I only wear gloves when I'm handling raw chickens. We always have nitrile gloves. Sponsor. Oh, man. I'm just so used to answering dialogue UI that I just start doing it by default. Alright, come on! Crackling shard, one please. Any luck? Also, I don't have any trinkets yet. Good for cutting many fruits and vegetables. Even strawberries will start to eat the skin if you cut enough of them. That I've never had happen to me. I've never cut enough. I don't usually wear them for food prep. I've never had problems with that. Except for with the spicy peppers. 434. Yeah, there we go. Versatility. I don't have my loot spec should be. Oh, let's set it to current because that's a it's a prot loot spec. Hey Hazel, hey chat. Hello, how you doing? We'll eat chicken when we order out. Mostly cook vegetarian. It's a lot cheaper to shop vegetarian. If you're Fury, you may want arms spec. Oh, to get two-handers? That's smart. Loot spec. Arms. Here we go. Mountain Thane or Slayer. Damaging enemies with Thunderclap, Raging Blow, or Execute has a chance to strike them with Lightning Bolt. Or attacks against your primary target have a high chance to... Lightning Bolts. Still XP per hour worth if you do tier 2 delves? I don't know. I'm not really doing this for the sake of leveling efficiency. I'm trying to hopefully get Crackling Shards. You know, I'm leveling as well. Follower dungeons worth. I've heard that they can be. I'm so sick of follower dungeons. I did a bunch of them for Seasbarg. So I don't want to do that anymore. I'd rather quest. Mountain Thane is fun. We used to have a strawberry you pick near us. We'd go and pick them and bring them home and freeze them. Slicing for freezing used to be hard in the fingertips. Yeah, I bet doing a huge batch like that would. I used to really struggle with blackberry picking because I needed the dexterity of, in order to not crush them, I needed to do it without gloves, but blackberries have a lot of thorns. They're kind of sharp. Not the berries themselves, but the, oh, hey, there we go. There's one. Thing.
That's the first time you've asked that question. But you can start by helping the injured.
Should I do the other two delves? I don't see why not.
What path brought you here?
Although the quest will give me questing gear, and I'm right here already.
Ah, a new experience.
What is it we're doing? Glittering ore and Fungarians. That's what we're after. I know that I can get Crackling Shards from any Isle of Dorn delve, but my rarity is not tracking until I'm outdoors for some reason. Maybe there's too many different kinds of mobs that could be up in the thing depending on the story. Grandmother used to take us to pick collards and blackberries. Oh, nice. Haven't had the chance to watch your stream in a long time. Come back, you moved? Referring to a husband, congrats on all the changes. Thank you. Yeah, we've had a big year. I got married in May and bought a house over the summer and just got moved in a couple of weeks ago. It was pretty exciting. It's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a very hectic kind of year, but it's really exciting. We really like it here too. It's really nice. We really like the place that we found. Double congrats, thank you. Maybe one day I'll introduce you guys. What kind of lunches do you have? Always seem to struggle with ideas, end up eating snacks. We kind of rotate through craft dinner, baked beans, like canned baked beans and toast, Sometimes like quesadillas and salsa. Sometimes I'll just kind of do a snack plate and I'll just have like apples and peanut butter with like toast and then like a yogurt or something, like I used to do for like school, although toast is maybe not for school. Sometimes like a different pasta and sauce kind of situation, just like some macaroni and like tomato sauce or whatever. Keep it pretty straightforward. Or like soup and toast, like a canned soup and some toast. Or best option if available, leftovers. If there was any big batch of anything made the night before, like any chili, any curry, any stew that can be heated up for lunch leftovers, those are primo. Big fan of that. What do you guys like to do? I want to eat more sandwiches, but I can never figure out things that I can keep on hand that make good vegetarian sandwiches that are not like fussy or like spoil really quickly. Like my favorite sandwich is spinach, tomatoes, cucumbers, olives with a little ranch and cheese on bread. I guess the bread's given as a sandwich, but whenever I do that, I feel like I can only keep tomatoes around for like a day or two before they start to go bad. Cucumber lasts a little bit longer. Olives I will cook with once, and then I will completely forget that I own any of them. Why? Why am I hearthing? Why is my mount keybind hearthing me? That's very peculiar. None of my keybinds should be hearthing me. Smoked salmon. I love smoked salmon, but it's spendy. I like to try to keep like just everyday meals pretty cheap if I can. I like spending. I was talking to my husband about this. If there's something that I'm gonna buy like once in like a 10-year period, say a fan for like a bathroom, I would rather spend some extra money on it, you know, get the $80 or even like $150 version over like the $40 version so that I can get like a good, strong, high-performing model because I'm going to use that for like 10 years. But if it's something that I'm going to eat like or do like repeatedly and it's something that's like a super recurring cost, I will do anything I can to cut money on those. Anything that's like once in a while I tend to spend more on, and anything that's all the time I tend to spend less on, because like who remembers what you had for lunch anyway. Did a collard melt once, vegetarian friendly? I guess I do tuna melt sometimes. I guess I'm pescatarian. I'm not I cook a lot of vegetarian stuff, but I am technically pescatarian. Whenever I can get canned tuna on sale anyway. Salmon now, salmon sandwich. Oh, salmon sandwich sounds good. I guess I do have salmon in my freezer. I didn't have to buy it. Platters for lunch, some kind of lean protein bread, big bowl of veggies. I used to do a lot more veggie bowls. I don't know what happened. I think I got less, I don't know what happened. Fell out of love with rice. Big fan of the No More. Hands down best race class combo since WoW since vanilla. Keep forgetting to try making my own bean burgers to freeze. Sounds nice for lunches. I love freezing bean burgers and then grilling them up and having them with like barbecue sauce and mayo on like a nice crusty bun. That's good. You guys are making me hungry. I guess it's 20 to noon. It's almost lunchtime. Bean burgers. They're burgers with beans. That would be the jingle if I was ever selling bean burgers, which I will not be doing. The people that make the bean burgers cannot afford the rights to my very special and super unique jingle. Which is vaguely inspired by that one song from season 1 of Taskmaster where Ramesh Ranganathan was like doing the balloon task in reverse. I think that's vaguely where the tune of the Bean Burgers jingle came from. It's a whole mess up here. Flashback to Hope Crusher. Yeah.
Greetings, Outlander.
Tree Wizard. That's the one.
Mortals can mend even our stone bodies.
Tell me,
Belgrim,
I don't know how reasonable HelloFresh would be for me to even get out here.
appreciate it.
Getting stuff shipped is kind of like get something shipped to a nearby town that you then go into and pick things up from. It's not really like a to-your-door situation. I don't know if that would be very convenient for HelloFresh. Oh. No sponsors are selling t-shirts, just producing bean burgers and selling them online. I think that I think that might be tough because of like food safety and international food safety and the amount of you that are from the US. Taskmaster is a British sort of a comedy variety television show. You can watch it on YouTube. It's really fun.
Good. Now for Ebona.
I regret even trying it. They still send me ads. Did not like HelloFresh. They seem to have a large budget for digital marketing, which is not inherently a bad thing, but always makes me like a little bit suspicious.
He's fading.
It's like, why do you have to spend so much money talking people into what a good idea this is? If it was a really, really good idea, then wouldn't everybody just be doing it anyway?
Pilgrim.
Maybe I'm just fundamentally misunderstanding advertising. Living at the edge of the world. It's the part where the ocean pours off the rim. The disc. Oh, I miss Discworld. It was so much fun. I read 41, I think? I read all but one of them. I didn't read the last one that was published because I didn't want to be done.
Yes. I am the former Stone Lord.
Nice.
You need a hammer?
Like a week for half off. It was a good deal for half off. Not worth it. Full price.
You may take the lead.
Take
I
one
just
of the
feel like,
vans,
wouldn't it be a
Bill.
lot of
It's no
packaging?
Stormrook, but it's
Like, I'm
faster
sure
than
it's like
Dorn.
recyclable and whatever, but I don't know. I'm not like a zero waste kind of girly, but I'm a maybe, I don't know.
I'll bring the unbound to the core
Just
way.
doesn't
We'll meet
like
you in Dorn
for an
again.
everyday thing. I don't know. I don't know if it's my thing. How can you have tomatoes bad after one day? I mean, you would, I mean, tomatoes are good for a few days. But, you know, I don't always have fresh tomatoes around. Sometimes I'm eating canned tomatoes. You know, maybe I'll find canned tomatoes on sale and I'll buy like a bunch of canned tomatoes. Yeah, not too much waste girly. Reduce waste when it feels reasonable and available to me to do kind of girly. I don't like trying to, I don't know. It's one of those things that gets almost impossible if you're trying to do it to the maximum. But I feel like there's a middle ground where you can still have a convenient and food safe and reasonable life, but you can also avoid some, you know, like single-use plastics and whatever that are not strictly necessary. But I feel like you got to be kind to yourself with that one too, because you can you can really think yourself into a hole with it. Week I had COVID was an effective way to eat something while sick. That is smart. When I was sick, we were just eating canned Campbell's soups and hoping we were better by the time that we ran out of them. It was really unfortunate we got sick like a week after we moved because we hadn't had a chance to build up much pantry yet. But we had a bunch of canned soup and that came in really clutch. We were pretty sick of it by the time we weren't sick anymore, but it was food, you know. No one starved. Not having to buy in completely is a big step to realize. Many people think that way about vegetarianism. Not binary, you can decide to do less meat. Exactly. I think that sometimes when people are doing good, they get a little vigilante about it, and they assume that if you're not doing the maximum amount of good you could possibly do, then you're doing it wrong and you shouldn't even bother. And they get so like worked up about shaming people for not doing things perfectly that they kind of lose sight of it and just damage the cause as a whole. And I think maybe there's more to be gained from just taking it easy, doing your best, encouraging people to do their best, and understanding when they can't. Like at the end of the day, a lot of the damage that is done environmentally is something that's being done on a bigger corporate level, and we have, you know, a tiny bit of power as individuals, but not an awful lot. Doesn't mean we shouldn't try and do anything better at home, but it also doesn't mean that you should ruin your own life because you used a plastic straw. I really like my metal straws, actually. I use them even for just drinks I make at home. Besides, if you try and do things perfectly, then people will argue you all the way down on, like, any specific thing of, like, oh man, you're eating vegetables, you're eating the wrong vegetables, you shouldn't eat those ones have this chemical in them, and that's gonna, it's like, listen, some people are trying to eat their first vegetable, you know, they just got off of, like, McDonald's. Would you calm down? Can I send a link that will make your life better? Nope. No links at all. There's a blanket policy. The bot won't even let them get posted. My life's probably good enough. It's okay. You can summarize it verbally in chat if there's like a real piece of wisdom you want to share. Yeah, no linkies at all. Gotten to an age where as long as I'm eating, I'm eating. Stop stressing myself out over it. I want to be clear. Just because I'm not using HelloFresh doesn't mean I would judge anybody for doing it. It looks like it would be a great solution for a lot of people. Not against it, just not personally using it. I feel like I want a pretty simple life. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. I see my puppy. How'd you get so handsome? He looks like he just woke up. I used to worry so much about every single thing in every single thing, and for my sanity, had to stop doing that. I think it was Lemmy from Motorhead who drank whiskey, chain smoked, ate nothing but meat, cheese, and bread, lived to be in his 70s. We're just doing our best. We're coming up here. I want to turn in these guys. Maybe get... Oh yeah, that's right. This one. This is the tower where we're picking up the notes and killing that mob at the top of them. 1,281 is my current account of mob kills since my last shard. So, you know, a couple hundred. Really nothing. Although, you know what? It's not counting mobs in delves, and we've been doing delves as part of it. So that's the only mobs that we're killing outdoors while we're questing. The sound those streams make. Okay. Uh-oh. I thought I was mounted. I'm not mounted. Oh man, it's almost noon. Well, I got Crinkle to level 71. I want to plant hanging baskets next year. I wanted to start a bunch of seeds and jam them into different hanging baskets and hang them up in places and water them and see what works. I think that sounds like fun. I know you can buy like seed plugs, but I like starting stuff from seed when I can. It's really exciting to watch it sprout, and it feels like you were there for the whole journey. Plus seeds are cheaper. 7k kills in the 4th shard and nothing. Oh man. 7k. I think this one we're heading in this door. I'm starting to get the hang of this. Do it? Yeah, I think I will.
Communication and...
Although you gotta be careful of not getting too carried away and planting so many things that need so much water that you're gonna be just like dumping. I don't know. I want to keep a vague eye on my water usage. I suppose I can probably afford it. There's people out there that are like watering their lawns all year round. 40k achievements yesterday. Congratulations! Are seeds cheaper if you pay yourself for your time? I have never in my life paid myself for my time, especially not for my hobbies. WoW would be extremely expensive in that case. I think starting seeds is equally as much fun as playing WoW. Also, it's not that much time. Like, you're not actively, like, casting a spell over them for them to grow. You kind of plant them, and then you stick them in, like, your windowsill or on your heat mat or whatever it is you're doing. And then you just kind of, like, check them every now and then, add a little water. It's really not that time intensive. Plants without roots, hang them on a lamp? Yeah, air plants. They're cool. They're cool. I've never done them, but when I was super into succulent plants, and I would go find like the succulent vendors at like the Portland Saturday Market and stuff, they always had air plants as well, and I would always look at them and be like, this is weird. This is a weird kind of plant. I don't know what to do with this. I feel like that would be really cool for like a sunny bathroom or like hanging up in like a kitchen or something like that.
Speak freely. No directive.
Because I think some of them need certain levels of humidity. They are strange. Yeah, I've never gotten any of them because I feel like I understand the basic premise of regular plants. So plants that break the rules in such a dramatic way as air plants or like carnivorous plants just kind of freak me out. Like, I don't know the new rules. Has to be moist. Yeah. Yeah. So I just haven't tried it yet. Someone was selling necklaces for you to carry them around in like a sea monkey. That was kind of nuts.
A new experience.
A new experience. In here, maybe? Do I have any more upgrades? 434 weapons. Those are old. No, those are all things we're getting rid of. Carnivorous plants are tough. Air plants are easy peasy. One is a centerpiece. Soak it once a week. That might be more effort than I give to a lot of my regular plants. I keep a lot of very drought tolerant plants because sometimes I just like don't think about them for like a while, and then I notice they're kind of droopy and I'm like, oh, whoopsies, and then I water them and then they forget me. I'm not like a very fastidious plant mom. When I first got into plants, I was super picky about it, and then a lot of time passed and I chilled out, arguably too much. I am guilty of cruelty against plants. Chronic neglect. Carnivorous plants delicate. Venus flytraps are fussy. I had like a little Venus flytrap looking thing for a little while, but I didn't keep it through one of my moves. It was doing fun, but honestly I got it because I had a fruit fly problem. I think it went ham. And then I realized that one fly trap was not going to consume all of the fruit flies that I had, and I instead ended up doing vinegar traps and wine traps because I had wine that I wasn't drinking. And that worked a real treat. And that's when I gave up on fruit bowls because I don't remember I have fruit even if it's in a bowl, and the fruit flies will find it before I do. Keep my fruit in my freezer and make smoothies. I've over and underwater to research and figure out what works best for the climate. It is drought tolerant too. Yeah, I figure the worst thing that can happen with that houseplant of mine is that it dies. And if it dies, then it was not compatible with me and my level of care anyway, so it's very trial and error. I just try a bunch of different things. I buy them small so they're cheap. And it either makes it or it doesn't. Most of them make it. Some of them don't. Most of them make it. I'd say 90% of them make it. But I've had plants for long enough to kind of have a feel for which things are and are not going to do well. I do not get anything with like funky colored leaves. I have very few things that are going to try to flower indoors. Although I have a lipstick plant that is super happy for no reason. I didn't do anything. I don't do anything that has like picky humidity requirements or soil pH requirements. I get pretty beginner friendly stuff. I gotta go soon. Sad. Should we? Yeah, we can do this one over here. Meet somebody outside the cave. Precious gems. Thought Miss Mary Mac was supposed to be dressed in black? With the sickening buttons all down her back? Was that it? Or am I thinking of something else? Oh, the NPC was named Mary Mac. Oh, missed that. That's funny. When you first got into plants, got into it a second time? No, there was a beginning, as there sometimes is. I go through hobby cycles where I get really into a hobby, and then I am super into it for like 6 months, and then I don't quit it, but I do scale it back to like a more manageable level, and then get super into something else. So I had my obsessive plant phase, and then I scaled it back, and then I've had some amount of houseplants ever since. I guess actually I did count when I moved. I moved about 30 houseplants with me, so maybe it is a decent amount. It's less than the real plant maniacs, but it is more than my mother, so it's a medium amount.
You need something? See you around.
I finally have enough natural light to maybe put plants in some places that aren't just windowsills, but I'm not brave enough to do it. Do that too? Feel ashamed? Ah, nothing to be ashamed of. Totally normal. Depends on how big your home is. and how neglect tolerant they are in case you are not able to keep up with, like, I can keep up with 30 of them because I can forget about them for most of the time. And then, like, all winter. But I'm excited to have kept some plants for a few years now and to keep them for a few years more because I like taking a tiny plant that I got like really cheap at like a hardware store or something, or even just like free on the side of the street, and growing it into a much bigger houseplant because the big ones are so expensive. So I refuse to buy houseplants any bigger than like an inch or two. I buy the tiniest possible version, and that way if it does die, I'm not out like $30. The only exception is that for some reason, and I guess I can propagate them now because I have a couple of them myself, but Sansevierias, snake plants, bizarrely expensive. I don't know why. They propagate just fine, but if you're buying one at the store, even a tiny one, they still want like $8 for it instead of like $2. Everyone has their Warhammer box of shame. Yeah, I found that at my point in life, I've been through enough different hobby cycles and like kind of gotten super into them and then scaled them back that I've kind of like gone back around again and hit them all up again. And I feel like I now have enough hobbies that I can cycle through them and never get bored, you know? I had a tea phase, I had plants, I have freshwater fish keeping. Gardening is very exciting to me, especially now that I have space for it. What's another one? Needlework, like cross stitch and embroidery was a phase. Nail art was a phase. Baking was a phase. Cooking is kind of something you have to do to eat. That one's not really a hobby. Bread making is a hobby. I think that one counts. What do they want me to do? Place a core. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Bread a phase of itself, precisely. You read my mind. But, you know, we've been through enough different ones. We can just loop back around again. I remember the tea phase. That's when I started watching. You're listening. Do we have the same hobbies? No shame. No shame. No shame at all. If there's anyone in your life giving you a hard time about it, just tell them you're not hurting anybody. Looking at my bread making machine. I love my bread machine. I don't use it like all year round. I'll go through phases with it. But every now and then I'll pull it out and I'll have it make like a batch of pizza dough and I'll make a homemade pizza, and that is good. I have zero regrets about buying a bread machine. I think it's actually the second bread machine I bought because the first one got left behind in one of my moves. Or I got rid of it in one of my moves, and I got a new one when I moved to Victoria. Starting sourdough once it isn't 80 degrees in my house during the day. 80 inside. Oh, I'm so sorry. Holy moly. Are you gonna name it? People like naming their starters sometimes. Okay, I'm going to take this character to Dornagal, and I gotta go. It's lunchtime for me. I would love to thank you guys very much for joining me today. I appreciate the company. Thank you for spending this time with me this weekend. I had so much fun leveling Alts and Isle of Dorn. Our first Crackling Shard is gonna come one day, I believe. I can work on it more tomorrow, or next week rather. Monday, Tuesdays are my normal days off, so I will see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you so much and have a wonderful, wonderful day.